this new trend is here, and it's got everyone talking. What's spreading quick and makes you sick, infecting everyone? It's worldwide and many have died, but so much fun. Hey! Start to cough, then pass it off, and no one knows what to do but wash and clean and quarantine for Wuhan flu.
There it is, guys. Wuhan flu. I think this is a PSA. This is
Wuhan flu?
Mm-hmm.
There is no cure, it's not secured.
Wuhan flu is one of the greatest kung fu movie directors of all time.
He sounds really cool.
Is he still alive?
Can I follow him on Facebook?
No, it's not true. I just made that up. But see, I sounded like I knew what I was talking about, right?
That's what's on everybody's mind. All right, WBV.
It's about coming confident, you know?
Everybody knows Corona. Everybody knows everything. Everybody's dying. It's amazing,
Where'd you
though.
get that?
I just found it on the YouTube.
Really?
You know, the
That's
YouTubes.
fantastic.
I can't believe someone had that written and produced and recorded and up already.
Well, the worst part is you've got the ones that go, my Corona. I was honestly, are you just a shitty morning show and that's all you have? Like,
Weird Al actually tweeted, I'm not doing my Corona.
He did.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
No, but what was his bit? What was Weird Al's bit back in the...
Oh, he had my bologna.
Oh, okay, that's what...
Here comes the toast, looking really good.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to put on my bologna.
Okay, all right. It wasn't... All right, I didn't think Corona, but
No.
it's so cheesy that the fact that it's fucking him doing that. Welcome back, Voorhees. 132. My name is Denny, and we have some cool guests tonight, man. Check it out.
When are they coming?
That's a great question.
Can't wait for them to come.
WAAF's Mike Shue.
Formerly of WAAF.
He legally has to say
You're not dead, though.
Are you sure?
That's a good question, right? And Josh Dolan
How's it going?
is here of the podcast
Breaking the Ice.
Breaking the Ice. That's right. I should have known that. But I don't know shit about sports, so unfortunately I'd be the worst
don't worry.
guest ever.
Neither do I, and I'm on the podcast.
It's not a sports podcast. So.
Oh, it's not?
Well,
no.
It's a hockey podcast. We just don't talk about hockey.
No hockey.
No.
You talk about shit.
Well, actually, we could talk about the NHL shutting down.
Yeah,
on the
we
next
could.
One.
I mean, my co-host used to be a Boston Bruin.
Yeah.
My former co-host,
Right.
but now it's Mike Shue. and
Right.
Isaiah.
Wait, who was the Bruin?
Andrew Raycroft.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Razor, super nice guy.
But when I started it, I talk hockey all the time because it's my whole life, but I didn't want it to be just a hockey podcast, so I called it Breaking the Ice because breaking the ice can mean anything.
Right. At least that's what we're saying now.
Yeah.
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 You got to take the sticks off the logo.
What if you called it breaking? What if you called it breaking the cherry? And it was if a Zamboni guy. It could be two things. It could be someone obviously getting fingered for the first time.
Oh, is that what that means?
And then the other one could be
Yes, Mike.
someone getting run over on a Zamboni where it's there's blood from
Someone getting
Do you
fingered
think you'd die?
on a Zamboni.
That's really hot.
Yeah.
How come that hasn't been done in a movie?
That must have been done somewhere.
No fucking way. Look it up. Bullshit. You
on.
honestly think there's been a fingering? First off, there's definitely Mark Wahlberg's movie Fear, where he's in the carousel. What do they call him? Fingers her.
I don't.
Fear. It's called Fear.
Okay.
It's a movie. And Mark Wahlberg.
Not just a weird dream you had?
Nope.
Nope.
Are
Okay.
you sure?
He fingers her on the carousel. Is it called carousel? Oh, Ferris wheel. Thank you.
Oh, really?
I just thanked myself.
Oh,
by
so
the
it's a
way,
family
for that
movie.
one. Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Oh, that was his Disney movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. By the way, coronavirus, thank you for being the intro song for shutting down everything. Speaking
know.
about Disney World, thank you.
Also,
we're at
I'd
March
just like
13th? March 13th to kind of put a peg as to where we are. Once again, thank Mike Shue and Josh Dolan from our
Formerly of.
WAAF 107.3,
The
which I
lawyers are
worked
gonna
at.
call.
I'm sure my crowd should know that, my audience of 3.
We got shut
Maybe
down
5.
before it was trendy, by
Yeah.
the way.
Oh, this is true, right?
Yeah.
We
We got
started
canceled
this
before
whole
it was
thing.
trendy.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know what, Denny? You didn't shut that station down. So you got that going for you, man.
I tried. I left in 2008, so just kind of give a background. So I worked with Mike from 1998 all the way through 2008, and I filled in.
really?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. So I started as Ozone. Hopefully, we'll get him on the phone later. John Ozone Osterlind was a WAAF disc jockey.
Yep.
He was the midday guy, and that's who I started with as an intern. But boy, I met all the fucking famous people as an
Oh, yeah.
intern. It's so
Yeah.
funny because Ozone will be like, dude, Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains is coming. I'll be there. Ozzy's coming. He goes, Dean DeLeo from Stone Temple Pilots. He
Right.
goes, yeah. Tom Cruise will show you where the bathroom is. And I was like,
And they don't say Tom Cruise. Is that your real name?
no. Funny you say that because so Dean DeLeo, I'm blown away. The record number 4, I think it was called, with Black.
Oh, was that the day they played him and Scott Weiland?
Yep.
They played acoustic. Yes, that was a great
It
day.
was them, Nickelback, and
Three Doors Down.
Three Doors Down,
And those bands
and I
were
saw
brand
them
new.
all in the hallway, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Wow, hey, how you doing?"
Yeah,
You
look,
know?
rock
It's really
stars.
cool. But it's funny. He goes, "Hey, Dean, do you mind showing? Hey, Denny, do you mind showing Dean DeLeo where the bathroom is?" I'm not kidding. I'm walking down the hallway. I go, "How you doing, man? I'm trying to fit everything in." And he goes, "What's your name, man?" He was really cool, and I was like, "Denny." He goes, "Mike?" I go, "Yep."
Oh my!
Because I didn't want to waste any more. I'm not kidding. I didn't want to.
Yep.
That doesn't even rhyme.
You call me
No, I was
whatever
like,
you want.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm fucking Freddie.
Yeah,
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want
dude.
to call me.
But yeah, I mean, those days were amazing.
I'm
man.
gonna miss walking famous people to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest one was Steve-O because he had a broken foot and I had to actually help him.
Sober or
because-
unsober?
Sober.
Sober, Steve.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yes, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and he had a broken foot,
Yeah.
and he was
No
walking on
kidding.
crutches.
Yeah.
His pants were falling down. I was like, "You want me to help you?"
Did you wipe him?
I did. I asked
not-
him to, though.
Only a few people can say that.
Well, these guys were the afternoon duo that unfortunately WAAF
That
went
failed miserably.
Yeah,
and broke the
unfortunately.
radio station.
Oops.
Yep. Whoops. Sorry about
They
that.
they get the pulled into the office on a Tuesday, and actually on Friday was the last day. And
Mm-hmm. Right.
thank you guys for having me on because I was on there for a few years, and it's so great.
few
to,
10.
yeah,
A
whatever.
few years. And
But-
you did all shifts.
Everything.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
were producer of the morning show.
Correct. Yes.
For interim, though, because you were smart. You were like me. It's like, I don't want to do this.
That was the hardest job I ever had. I've always said.
Oh, yeah. That's a hard job.
It's very like I left every single day with a fucking headache that was, and I would go and work 8 hours at the t-shirt place that I
Yeah,
worked at.
right.
So I would get up at 3:30, do that shift and be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
nothing worse than like LB going, kid. You got to hit that one, not that one.
I know.
And it's like,
LB's
what?
trying to tell you what to. That's rule number 1. Don't listen to what his
Oh
instructions.
yeah, it's so
'cause
funny though. But I was just
he doesn't know.
I was so scared of
Right,
like,
yeah,
oh,
right,
fuck,
yeah.
man. What do I do? You
Yeah,
know?
no, it was fun having you were on and Doug Dave Greenbreen
Yeah,
was on, and
love
both you
Doug.
guys did that job.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, my brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
right here. These are my brothers because
Yep.
they've stood there and faced Hillman, and I guess it was still Kevin Barbary.
Yep.
And me and
So it
LB.
was Kevin, you, LB. Yeah, I don't remember Danielle being there.
No, she wasn't there yet. I think she was at that point. That one may have been before her. I think she was a little after that. We met her when she was a manager at Coyote Ugly.
Yeah.
And she would bring in the Mantown girls.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
She would like wrangle them. And
She
bring
would
them in?
connection.
Yeah, she would exactly, Josh. She would like rope them, like jump them,
Nice.
hog tie them, and bring them into the studio.
She has those skills.
Yeah, but she was up there all the time, and she was great, and she is great. I shouldn't say was. She's
you
very
s-
much alive.
She got the corona.
No. No,
okay.
she's probably had a few, but
That was fun seeing her, though. It was good catching up. So,
Yeah.
I texted Mistress Carey after the word came out on the wire. For you young kids, the wire. I got a fax that WAF was ending, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" Just kind of hanging out. And I sent you, or maybe I sent Carrie a text saying, "Oh man, so sorry, sucks." She goes, "Come in, let's party."
Yeah.
Friday." I was so excited because you got to remember, radio was always in my blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a kid, I would have the boombox behind me. I'd listen to David Allen Boucher, and I go, "That's
Really?
fucking 100%."
oh,
That
I
was
see. I listened to him because my
uncles-
mother loved him.
My uncles, BCN Rules, Jay Giles, Aerosmith. So for me growing up, it was a dream to come on the radio, right? Like I'd always be like, wow, that'd be so cool. I go to Westfield State and I get on the air there, which is free, but it's so funny when you listen to your old shows, you go, "Hey, I'm fucking dead."
I know your voice is so
I'm
high.
fucking
Yeah, I know.
17.
It's unbelievable what happens to your voice.
Yeah, I fucking-
It's like you're in helium.
Yeah.
Plus, they're probably on cassette, so
Yeah.
they stretched a little, and they're
I got a beeper and I fucking bang a ton of chicks. That's exactly what happened.
I think that's so funny that everyone you just named that you looked up to, I didn't know who they were until I met them. Like David
right.
Allen Boucher, I didn't know him until we moved across the street.
That's a gig.
Oh, did you meet him?
Yeah, he
Oh,
used
yeah.
to come in every night and
He
be
doesn't
like,
put his picture online.
That's because he's old school.
I know. I love it.
See, he's in radio for the same reason I'm in radio and not television. With all due respect to David Allen
Oh,
Boucher.
stop it! You could be in fucking television.
I could be in some kind of animal porn, but not
Wait,
TV.
why did you get in radio? As I just explained, I always had the passion for it, and someday I hoped. I didn't even think I had the voice. That comes along. But for you, what was sort of the seed?
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
From very young, elementary school, like kindergarten, we traveled a lot. We had an old Datsun, and we would go to Pennsylvania a lot to visit my family out there. We'd drive down to Florida.
Who's we?
My parents and I. And
Brothers, sisters?
No, only child.
Oh, okay.
And we'd go to D.C., and every time it had an AM stock radio, just AM band, no FM.
What years are we talking about? 1940s?
This is the
Was fucking
okay.
Hitler around?
All right, fuck boys. Up yours.
That was a good comeback. Thank you.
No, this is like 70s.
Brutal.
Mid 70s.
Okay.
Early mid 70s and to 1980 or so until we got the Datsun 310GX, I believe, hatchback, which had an FM band on it.
I'm going to Google that tomorrow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like listening. So what you had to do was you had to search for stations as you went out of range of one.
Yeah.
So we get WABC in New York and the Washington, D.C. stations and the Pittsburgh stations and stuff. And these guys sounded like, and it was mostly top 40. And these guys sounded like, first of all, their voices were like huge. It was like, WABC! And it
was a character. I mean,
right. They would go in there, they turn it on.
Yep.
And they sounded like they were having a great time. And that always, attracted me. I was
Same.
like, that sounds like fun. That sounds like it would be fun to do.
I want
that.
to be like Handsome Dan.
Yeah, I know exactly. I want to look like sound like I have a big chin.
Always smile when you're on the radio. Because everybody knows they can hear it.
But it was like
They said that in sales, actually. They go, smile while you're talking to a fucking client. I go,
Yeah, you got to
"What?"
be positive.
Kids would have fucking mirrors.
They used to
would
say
fucking
that in
smile and
broadcasting
shit.
school. They used to be
The
like,
fuck are you
when
talking
you're talking
about?
to a mic, smile
Yeah,
so you
because
sound happy. And
you
I was
sound
like,
friendly.
yeah, I'll do this in front of the class. Okay.
That was Van Halen running with the devil.
Wasn't that great?
It's a fucking great song.
That was Michael Bolton. Shoot me in the face.
Kill me, please. Sorry.
So yeah, it was mostly that, and then I met a guy who actually worked at Magic. My stepfather owned a medical practice in Framingham, and this guy, Austin from Boston, he was on
I know
Magic
that,
at the
yeah.
time. It was in the 80s.
Yep, I remember.
And he was in there, and I was in there. My mother also worked there. She was a nurse, and I remember going in for some reason, and my mother said, she knew I wanted to get in the radio. There's a DJ here. You want to talk to him? I'm like, okay, well, who is it? Is it Harvey Warfield? Sure, I'll talk to him. But it was Austin from Boston, and he had very
interesting
good
name.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was his radio name. It was Austin something or other, but
Yeah, I use Denny. My real name's Juan.
right. Well, my last name's Shu, but it's not spelled like Shu. So he gave me some good advice. He said, first you should go to where you really want to work. If you love being there, go work there. The money will come.
But go work at a place where you love the music, meaning right.
Well, not necessarily. He was saying go to a place you love to be.
Okay.
Like I love being in Boston.
Okay,
Or
gotcha.
how about I love being in Wilmington, right?
Sure, right.
I'm going to do everything I can to stay in Wilmington and work in Wilmington. And he was just saying, you find a radio station in the place that you want to be, go there, and you'll make it work. The money will come. You'll figure it out. And then he also said, if you don't want to do that, a great way to start out is get jobs in the smaller markets and
I've heard
own
that,
your
yeah.
craft
Right,
and move into the bigger markets. And then he said, in this business, I said, I love music. That's why I want to get into the business. He goes, oh, well, you get all the free tickets and records you want. I said, I'm in. Where do I sign?
Right.
I'm going right. I said, Mom,
Sold.
I'm going to be a
Yeah.
DJ. Sorry. I know
Yeah.
you wanted me to be an architect or a doctor, but that's not
Right.
happening. I'm going to be an ultra crepidarian for the rest of my life, So,
So where was your first paid?
first paid commercial radio
Because
gig.
we both did college, and that was just
I had a great time. My college station,
North Adams, right?
Yeah, North Adams State College,
Yeah.
WJJW, had a great time.
WSKB, Westfield.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, Western Mass, man. Western Mass Radio.
We covered that on a podcast many years ago.
Oh.
Listen to our old cassettes. Oh,
I should have brought some.
don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You don't have
I'll
a
come
job,
back. I'll
so
come-
you'll be
yeah, I got
fine.
plenty of time.
Come back
yeah.
tomorrow if
Right,
you want. We
exactly.
can fucking continue.
wanna sleep
this.
over?
Yeah, but it was
big couch there.
WUPE in Pittsfield, the Berkshire's best music mix.
Oh, yeah.
And it was adult contemporary, so I was playing.
How old are you at this point?
Let's see, it was 20.
Okay, so you're young.
Actually, I was 19 when I started there because I started Thanksgiving the previous year because they needed help right away. and then I worked Christmas but it was an adult contemporary station, so I played a lot of Michael Bolton and Patti LaBelle.
But you were getting paid.
I was getting paid $3.25 an hour.
Yeah.
Minimum wage, but great experience.
Yeah.
And
I started $4.25.
Right. Okay.
With AAF.
Yeah, right.
420. No, actually, Eagle 93.7, one of those. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. You know, you got to get the experience.
You're there. You're in the
Right,
door. You're
right.
fucking seeing people that are doing something you love.
Right.
I remember seeing DJs when I first started with, it was Eagle 93.7. I think some other station was like a pop type station, but I would go up in the prize closet and do this and blow up the fucking giant eagle on beaches and give shit away.
Right,
But
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, I'm associated with radio. I'm not on the air, but I'm associated with radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I went for my internship at the end of Westfield, and they said, okay, if you get an internship with any radio station, you get college credit. Holy shit. Ozone. I was going to go with Opie and Anthony. I went with Ozone. Fucking best move ever.
Yeah.
Because he's the best teacher on the planet.
Yeah, he's great.
Gives me fucking straight A's. Straight A's, dude. I got all the credit. Sorry, I was cutting you off. But
No, that's okay.
So your first radio gig, you're
Yep.
getting paid.
Pittsfield, Mass. I'm getting paid. I'm doing Saturday evening or afternoon 2 to 7, and then I would have to come in at 5 in the morning the next Sunday to do the dreaded Sunday morning public service programming.
Oh, that's right.
Slot. You know, so every radio station has to allot a
Do you have to
certain-
do that,
Yeah.
Josh?
Yeah. So
I think it was Sunday actually, the Q&A.
right, Sunday morning
Yeah.
Q&A with Carrie Pop. Right.
Yeah.
So every station has
that's right.
has to have a lot of certain time to public service programming.
Oh, I used to
So-
do it, yeah.
Yeah. So I was in there. I had to run the reel-to-reel tapes. You know, so I couldn't sleep on it. And it was like Ask the Professor, some quiz show. It was Commonwealth Club of California, and it was some local city council program from Pittsfield, and it was from 5 to 10, so it was like 5 hours worth of stuff.
So you had to pay attention.
Like it was on reel to reel.
Oh, when I did it was computerized.
Yeah, you can hit the
Yeah.
auto
Well,
button.
nowadays,
I just watch YouTube.
You're an idiot. Honestly, if you have dead air nowadays, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's-
I'm
it's-
sorry, you're an
yeah.
idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, I always seem to have dead air when we were doing afternoon.
Well, that's because we were doing other stuff, but
yeah,
like eating.
Yeah. So,
Hey,
Ooh,
looking
but
at
it really
porn.
is just a button, right? As far as I remember from 2008, it was always stop, start.
Right.
And the commercials were all stacked together.
Yep.
In the, right?
Oh,
Or
absolutely.
if there's something wrong
Yeah.
with the system. We got a new system, and there was a few times where things just stopped working.
They
for
would
no
just
reason.
disappear once
Yeah.
you hit start.
I don't want to
Yeah.
work
Oh, there goes the
anymore.
whole
And you go,
7
oh.
o'clock hour.
Yeah.
You want to talk about anxiety? I remember just the anxiety of, we were talking about this earlier, sort of the dream that you can't get to press play, the dream that you can't get to the radio station because there's too much traffic.
Yes.
We were talking about radio dreams. It's funny, it's
Yeah.
weird, but it's super real to me because it was always like, one time, years ago, it's probably 2003, 2004, we're at the New Balance building. I go downstairs, I smoke a butt. I probably saw Mike, fucking crazy guy. Who's the sports guy? Mike Adams.
Mike Adams.
yeah.
Who's the
He's
crazy
like,
guy?
Yeah.
How you doing?
How's it coming?
I fucked Pat Benatar.
He's always in the elevator.
Ah, dude, he's crushing butts, and I'd be like, yeah, that's cool, man. Okay. And then there was the other guy that was from the talk radio station. He was like, how's it going, Danny? How's it going? He had the best fucking,
Howie
like...
Carr.
No, he had a mustache.
Was it Ben Parker?
Yes!
Ben Parker.
I'm Ben
He's on
Parker.
BZ now. Ben Parker, WBZ.
WBZ.
Such a
And when I was
huge
smoking,
voice.
when I was smoking
movie
butts,
phone
he'd be
voice.
like,
How's it going, Danny? It's good to see you, Danny. I'm like, that's good, man.
Your smoke filters, I see. You should try smoking charcoal. Just pure charcoal briquettes. Keeps the voice nice and toned.
well, that's what made a good radio voice, is you got to smoke butts, right? You
I
never
I
smoke
credit.
butts.
I smoked 2 Marlboro 25 packs a day.
Oh, did you
For
really?
a long
When'd you
time.
quit? How long ago?
15 years ago.
Yeah?
When my wife told me she was pregnant.
Oh,
I left the
same
radio
here.
station right away. Went
Yep.
straight to a convenience store. Bought a pack of smokes. Lit one up. Smoked it on the way home. And as I was driving, I was like, "That's it." And I can't do this anymore. And I just whipped the whole pack out the window on the Mass Pike.
You definitely cheated after once. A lot of people do. I did.
And-
I did.
I'm trying to think.
I quit. and-
I may have. I really did it well.
Yeah.
I've tried to quit before.
oh, yeah.
It's like I've tried to quit like 20 times and just couldn't do it. But this time there was, my kid was on the way. I had something really motivating me there. So, but every day crave one every day, especially now.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I still get sometimes
No,
the
I
cravings.
definitely don't. And when I did, last time, I puke. If I fucking, having too much to drink or whatever, and I go, give me a butt. And I'm just, just a goddamn mess. But the time that I quit, and we'll go back to we were talking about before, if I can remember it. That's a great
Smoking charcoal.
smoking show. Oh, the deep voice. That's right.
Right.
I go upstairs, and of course, the thing was shut off.
Oh, right.
And I went, oh my God, fucking hit play. But it was 3:30. No one gave a
Right.
fuck. Anyway,
I almost shit my pants once at that station in Pittsfield.
I can't believe you brought this up before I did, because I'm a big fan of asking people when and where have you shit your pants.
Right.
And
I
tell me the
almost
story.
did. I just made it.
So get yours ready to go there, Josh.
I have mine.
Oh, well, I've shit my pants. I thought we were going to talk about radio moments where you had to, like,
That's what he
leave
meant.
and
That's what he meant.
Okay.
He's not talking about what happened. Forget it.
Okay. What happened like 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the first signs of corona.
Right-
I think.
right
I think
here.
we're seeing it. Yeah.
Is this the symptoms? I'm a hypochondriac.
We're going to call Ozone soon, too. What time we at?
I wonder if Ozone's ever shit his pants.
All right, yeah. Maybe we'll give Ozone a call in a little bit.
Yeah.
He could be wrapped up
I
in
bet he shit his pants.
Louisiana madness.
I know how it is.
You want to bet on that, Josh? $5 Ozone shit his pants at one point.
Okay.
All right,
$5.
very good.
All right.
We're going to bet this?
Yeah.
That's actually a really good bet.
Yeah.
I'm
Can
trying
I
to think
borrow
if I've...
$5 you?
There's a big difference between pushing out Rhea, which we all know, into the pants that slips down the legs, and pushing out a solid log.
Oh, so we're going to differentiate?
Well, there's a huge difference. The log will stay within the underwear.
Yeah, but in either case, it's like you don't want to do it. I mean, you're doing it involuntarily.
The log is usually on purpose.
You sure?
Yeah.
I never wanted to shit my pants.
Well,
Whoever
good
wanted to
for
shit
you.
their... I don't. What are you into?
So are you saying it's involuntary, meaning
I mean, like you can't hold it any
stomach
longer.
virus? Like
No, but even if you got to take a shit, like a regular shit, right? And you're doing the penguin waddle. It's starting to poke its head out because you've been holding it forever.
turtling,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And then it pushes out, yeah. I was close. It was junior high. I was coming home. I used to walk home from school, and I had to shit very bad, and I couldn't get the house key. I didn't have the house key, so I'm outside.
That's awful.
No, but I just pulled the drawers down and just
Oh, and
pushed it
you were
out, bro.
outside, right.
And I used
Okay.
the couple leaves,
Oof.
and I'm good.
That's what
jeez.
people are doing now.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
you've had
Yeah.
a similar experience.
I could tell you the worst one I've had was I put
I love
myself
how he has more than one.
on
Yeah.
a new diet. This is when I was on the morning show. So I was driving down Route 9 at about 3:30 in the morning.
Okay.
My diet consisted of mostly fiber, vegetables, fruits, legumes, very fibrous stuff.
Whole 30.
No, whole load. That's what it was. And so like it's day 2, and yeah, things are picking up, in the gastrointestinal area. So it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm driving down Route 9. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, I got to take a shit. All right, there's a Dunkin' Donuts up here. I can take a shit there. And I'm driving. I swear to God, I'm like 600 feet from the Dunkin' Donuts, and it was just like, oh no, oh God! And I went across 3 lanes, and then back across 3 lanes so I could pull into their parking lot. And I had a fucking huge, giant, gooey pile. And I was wearing cargo shorts, right?
Oh, with the pockets? You have a
Yeah,
lot of
so
pockets.
like it was like
Well, it
right
falls out
there.
sooner,
It was
so-
right there, and I was just like, oh my God, this is horrible. And I just called in. I said, I'm not coming in today.
What was your excuse?
I told Spaz my real excuse. I like Spaz
'cause he would
He's
understand.
like, how you doing, buddy? You okay? I'm like, I just shit my pants. That just tells me I shouldn't go to work today. He's like, ha ha, ha ha. He's like laughing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could just tell Greg I'm sick, whatever. And he's like, okay. And so that was like the worst pants shitting incident ever. There was so much. It was just I had to throw away the pants. The smell, it didn't get on my seat, but the smell was in my seat for it seemed like a week, and it was just awful.
Could you find any Lysol at the time? Even though they don't have it now, was it around back
Back when
then?
it-
Oh
they
yeah,
still made it.
Lysol was
when they
easily
actually made it?
available.
Yeah, amazing.
I actually took the Armor All wipes to my seat.
Ooh, that's very good.
And I should have probably
fancy.
taken it with my ass.
So how sad did you feel when the feces was in your underpants and all over your cargo
another
shorts?
thing, I don't wear underpants.
Stop it.
I had to throw my pants away. Yeah,
You don't wear fucking
I don't wear underwear.
fart catchers?
no,
What?
What?
I just
Don't you wear jeans?
It's restrictive. I'm so big.
Oh, get the fuck
My
out of here.
God.
Hold on.
My ass is so
You're
big.
lying right now.
No, why? You want to see?
No,
it?
there's a lot of
No.
dudes that don't wear. I get that, believe me.
You give me
but
shit
you don't
for
like
my
the,
weird stuff.
That's not weird.
That is weird.
First off, not even boxers. Like fucking.
no,
They're very.
like when I'm wearing like a suit or something. Yeah, I'll put my underwear on.
What kind of underwear?
I got those. What do they call them? The booty short
Boxer
ones.
briefs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I wear. If I'm wearing pants where I need to wear underwear.
You know those underpants? I have to wear a 28 pouch because I have a really thin and a huge pecker. So there's a big giant pouch I have to get ordered online on Amazon. It's called the Denny Dotsy Big Giant Pouch Underpants. If you guys want them,
You tell people this at the office, don't you?
I do.
Like you've told them multiple times.
Probably
I can
3,
tell.
4
Yeah.
times.
They're really sick of hearing it, man.
And they go,
Sounds like he
"Wow."
sells them.
Yeah. No, my balls are 8 inches hard. Just the balls. The dick is not. It doesn't get hard.
But you have huge nuts.
So I stuff nuts into dudes' butts and chicks' butts.
Wow.
That's it, man. I just go to clubs and I party. My wife doesn't even know this.
Well, she will now.
I mean, who doesn't do that?
I get hard nuts, man. I push them together into a cone.
A cone.
Where the fuck are we going?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What were we talking
I'm
about?
just-
I was
I'm
just
trying to
talking
do the
about
math
shit
in
in
my
my
head.
pants.
Oh, that's right. So Josh, let's go to you. Shit your pants. When you go?
I'm trying to think of a good one from when I was older, when it probably shouldn't have happened.
In other words, when you went, what the I can't even believe this is happening right now. Because you either, if you're going to work, you got to drive home.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to a gig, you got you can't continue
haven't
on
had
because
a
there's no
bad one.
clothes there.
I really haven't had a bad one. There's been plenty of times where I've been shit-faced, and I think I got a fart, and then I'm like, nope, that was a
Nope.
loaded gun.
So you got a shark.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of sharts, but I think the last time that I was like, I can't believe that fucking happened, was maybe 3rd grade, where I was taking a karate class.
Wait, hold on. You got to set the stage.
Okay.
Where were you? What year? You know,
Okay, so
young Josh.
third-
I'm gonna say he's gonna say 90s because we're old as
I
shit.
know, yeah,
I'm
no,
class
he
of
was born-
93.
He was
so-
born in like 91.
Yeah, I was.
Really?
So 3rd grade, this is probably 1998, and
It's when I started AAF.
Jesus Christ.
I
Me
started
too. Me
98.
too. I started in 98.
He's a
Yeah.
little tiny kid shitting his pants.
I was in
He's
karate
fucking-
class. We had
I
you
was
guys
shitting
on
my
it.
pants though too. So.
So was I.
Whatever, man. You
Oh,
know?
hey, Opie. Hey,
What's up, you guys? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, he's shitting his pants somewhere in fucking.
But I was in karate class. It was in a church in Ayer, Massachusetts, and both my parents were there for some reason. And in the middle of the class, one of my parents came. I had like stomach pains and stuff, and I was like kind of half doing the forms and everything. And halfway through the class, my parents came up to me and they're like, "We're going home now." And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "You shit your pants." And I was like, "What?"
Wait, you didn't know you shit your pants?
No, I thought maybe it was like a shart or something,
Yeah.
but you're wearing that white gi, and they're
Oh,
like,
you're wearing
"We
the
can
gi."
Tell.
Oh, yeah.
You shit your
Easy.
pants with honor.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like putting luminol on a blood, in a fucking crime scene. That shit lights up, man. But
Yeah.
it's brown. That's the
Yeah.
big difference,
So I never went back to Taekwondo.
Well, it's funny, I used to play Pop Warner, and there was this kid that would always play center, and he would shit his pants all the time. So he'd hike the ball, and there would be brown stains on his ass. So you had to go underneath his bells to get away from the feces. There's a big difference.
Oh, you probably did it on purpose then
You think you shit his pants for me?
to get in your head.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of hot, so I beat off in the woods.
Oh God, Jesus
All right.
Christ.
I've pissed myself plenty of times on purpose playing hockey.
I
don't
think
like where this is going
it's time
anymore.
we play a WBV game with WAAF disc jockeys here.
Farmer.
Yeah, intern, go ahead and turn on the music. Look at that. Here we go. Oh, wow.
I
Got a
love
whole
this tune.
production thing.
My intern is Tito. He hides in the closet there.
Oh, is that what that
He's
guy's doing?
Very quiet. All right, this one's a very simple game. It's called Real Radio DJ Name or WBV Name.
Oh,
WBV is fake.
Excellent.
And
actually
you
good
guys, by the way, there's a question. People always go, "Oh, you worked at a radio station? What was your name?"
Right.
I go, "Fucking laser dick, fucking lizard."
Yeah, lizard
And I-
dick's on.
Oh yeah, I pull my balls out. I go, "Suck my balls," and they go, "You're
Hard balls,
crazy."
cone.
No, but honestly, did you at any point have a
I did
program
once.
director say you should be this or that?
I did once. Well, the program director didn't say it, but it was because when I started at AAF, I also started working at WHJY.
Okay.
And I was doing
Which was where again?
Providence.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And I was doing overnights the first half of the week, and the second half of the week I do overnights and then the weekend at WAAF. But I got the job there first. The guy needed help, and our PD at AAF at the time said, "Okay, well, eventually you got to leave if you want to just work here." My name was Smolkowski at WHJY. Smolkowski.
Smolkowski.
Yeah.
Somebody gave you that name?
No. That was the name I chose.
Oh, but what
It's-
the fuck does that
Sounds
mean?
like a character in a cult '80s movie.
Almost. It's there's a poet out of Brooklyn named Copernicus who is like a total acid casualty.
Didn't he figure out Jupiter? Or something?
No.
Sounds
Well,
like a
yeah,
Roman.
the real guy did. This guy just took on the name.
Oh,
His
okay.
whole theory on life, that's what all his poetry is about, and he does improv in front of bands and stuff. It's like we're all living in a ancient pharaoh's dream, and when that dream ends, everything's going to end. So nothing exists and nothing matters. And
That's fucking
his
deep.
real name was Joseph Smolkowski. So I chose the name Smolkowski because I'm a big fan.
You're so fucking
And I told
deep,
that to
bro.
Paul and Al, the morning show, when they first came in. I said, "Hey, new guy, what's up? What's your name, Mike?" "Oh, so your name's not Smolkowski?" I said, "No. Where'd you get that?" I told him that story, and Paul goes, "Oh, I thought it was a cartoon or something."
Nope, I smoke weed.
Nope, I smoke tons of weed.
I smoked a shitload of weed.
And a few other things.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that kind of reminds me of we were 5 years ago. By the way, this is WBV. Welcome back, Voorhees. 5-year anniversary this week.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
I
this
wish
is
I brought a cake.
So normally we have Tony, my buddy from high school, and my buddy Colin with us, and so excited to have you guys here. But anyway, in the very beginning, we were like, what are we going to call the podcast? And I'm like, name it this. We had literally a fucking list of names. And my buddy's just like, he could give a fuck less. He's like, Denny, you want to do it? Do it, fucking name it. Welcome back, Voorhees. I honestly was so high and laughing for about 15 minutes, picturing, like Jason Voorhees in the class, like teaching, hey, up your nose with a rubber
Oh, a
hose.
sweat hog?
So it's
Voorhees is a sweat hog?
Yeah, like the fucking just the both the horror and the fact that it's fucking funny, man. I
Hold
piss
on,
myself. laughing.
1 second. Josh,
Yeah.
you know what a sweat hog is?
Oh, definitely not.
Oh,
Definitely not.
no, I don't.
Yeah.
He's Vinny Barbarino.
Yeah, welcome
Oh.
back, Cotter.
Juan Epstein.
I know them.
Okay.
What's it?
They were called sweat hogs.
that was the group.
Was
yeah.
that their gang?
Somebody
Kinda.
tipped over the Bloodmobile.
And Juan Epstein, Juan can't
I know
come into school
Travolta
today.
and the guy with the fro, but
Gabe Cotter.
yes.
Right.
I believe the note was signed Juan's mother.
Epstein's mother.
Epstein.
Right. Signed Epstein's mother.
That's when Travolta was cool, man.
Oh, yeah.
He was fucking
Yeah,
cool.
my parents made me watch TV Land.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Josh doesn't know a lot of things, which is always
When'd
I
you
know a lot of things
When'd you
that-
graduate high school?
2010.
Jesus
Oh.
H fucking Christ.
I
My
don't-
daughter was
Were-
6.
Were you like 90?
You know what? Why am I getting fucking ageist
No,
over
he
here?
had his
He's very
35th year on the radio, which
Oh,
was
you fucking
very cool.
You're both
Were you
cocksuckers.
80s?
What are you talking about, 80s?
Answer the fucking question.
No!
I'm gonna say 87 when fucking Guns N' Roses came out.
What was I when?
Graduated high school.
Oh.
I said 90. I started there.
Oh.
I was
No.
93.
Oh, I was 86.
Oh God, you're old.
Yes, I know. Thank
Still
you.
dead then.
There's a good chance you're gonna die from the coronavirus. He's.
I'm not
listen,
that old.
I don't do
he
the
is.
math
I
that
can
well,
still
Josh.
breathe. I'm
but-
not elderly yet.
He has weak lungs from all
yeah.
the
I have weak
smoking.
lungs because I smoke shitloads of pot.
Yeah.
All
Oh, by
right.
the way, are you a big fan of the legalization in Massachusetts?
No,
here?
I think it's wrong.
Isn't it bad?
Yeah, absolutely.
It gives them nothing to
The
talk
kids are
about
going to
now.
smoke pot and they're going to listen to jazz, and that leads to heroin and
You know
hookers.
what's- you know
Hiding is half the fun.
I knew we'd eventually talk about this, Mike. But it's so funny how like it just wore off because I would stand in line. I got the gummies. I did this and did that. I'm a big fan of weed, but I always go back to my guy. Everybody's got a guy. My guy.
It's easier.
I'll stand in
Right.
line, right, and it'll be $110 for the same shit I would get from my guy, for $70, whatever it is.
Right.
Right. I get a text from my guy today, like an alert from the fucking state government. He goes, "Bro, I'm just letting you know.
I'm canceling
Hold
selling
No,
weed."
I am not lying. I swear to God, I got this. I got the state. I got the fucking. My kids don't have school for 2 weeks because of coronavirus. He literally texts me and goes, "Dude, I'm just letting you know." He goes, "Conserve. I can't fucking find anything. It's a drought." I'm like, "Oh,
It's a
my-"
drought.
like right now?
oh
This-
yeah, like
Oh,
earlier
my
today.
God.
I was laughing. I
but
was
there's
like,
never a drought, Denny.
right.
We've got
This never happens.
we've got stores now.
But it's legal. No, I know. That's what I thought
Stores
was
are
funny
closing.
though.
yeah. So if your guy doesn't have any, at least you can go to the store.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, I love it, dude.
Yeah, man.
And
It's
everybo's
the
in
best.
line just holding
Yeah.
their fucking phones.
See, I got
Bandwagon
guys, I
fans.
got guys too, but I try to support.
I'm
it-
with
and I know
ya.
it's more expensive, but it's
Motherfucking
new.
taxes.
Yeah, that's the problem. The state taxes it, the town then puts their tax on
You're
it.
supporting bandwagon fans.
Did you
Shut up.
Did you hit the one in Leicester? The very first one that
I
opened?
did.
I hit it a
I
couple
did.
times.
I
You
did
parked in the nursery.
Right, I did
You
a
had to
few
take
weeks
the-
afterwards, and I got there super early, so I didn't have to wait too long. But you do go into 3 lines: the parking lot line.
I went there 3
and you get
times,
on the
yeah.
shuttle bus,
Yep,
and then you get
yep.
out there and you get into another
The shuttle
line.
bus smells like weed.
Oh my God! It
The
smells
weed
like
stores are the
sweet
new
weed.
Disney.
Oh my God! Yeah, it is really seriously. Yeah.
Did you get a picture on the way out?
Now,
too?
if you get your medical card though, you can jump the line.
I fucking
speed
hate
pass.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
hate
right.
that.
Speed pass. Yeah.
Not a big fan of that.
Well, you know, I am.
I go,
because-
what makes that different? What makes you different from me? Do you have one?
No, not yet. I should get one because I'm getting a little arthritis in my toes.
Sure you are.
You look like you have glaucoma to your eyes. Both of your eyes are maybe too close together.
No, it's
Well,
just
he's
my
old.
soul is dead, and
That's what
your
happens.
eyes go white when that.
You ever
happens.
see an old dog?
Oh,
That's
so
what-
you-
You know, you guys are fucking
Sorry.
assholes.
Look at us. We're so
Seriously.
much younger than you. It's really, I really feel bad.
No, you don't. You
All
guys
right,
are fucking punks.
I've been playing fucking Jeopardy here for 2 hours. Let's go. WBV 132. We got a couple of fruits in the house. We've got Mike Shue from 107 Point Dead and
Nice.
Josh Dolan, who is a comic. You can see. By the way, you do comic shit. You have
Yes.
Plug your shit. Plug your shit.
Well, I don't have anything right now. No
You
dates.
know why? Because
Do
he's
you
not
have
funny.
AIDS?
He's
Exactly.
not funny.
Yep.
not funny.
I
No
can't
dates?
get booked.
He's not
No
funny.
dates right now.
Nobody will book him.
Breaking the Ice.
Terrible jokes.
Breaking the Ice.
How do they subscribe?
Breaking the Ice on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere podcasts
Anchor.
are found. Yep, Anchor.
Patreon.
I just listened to these
Stitcher.
guys recently. Check them out. They had Mr. Scary. They had Mike Shue. Fantastic show. All right, here we go. WBV contest with the Jeopardy that's been playing for 25 fucking minutes underneath our thing. Here we go. The first one, real or fake? Donnie the Dragon Slayer Diamond. Donnie the Dragon Slayer Diamond, is that a real or WBV name?
Are we on the same team?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
So
Keep
if
your own
if I
scores,
get
by
it
the way.
right and you get it wrong, I punch you in the face, and vice versa.
I don't see how I win.
No, well, I could get it wrong.
Do you guys have
punch me in the
fingers?
face.
Keep your own scores.
Okay.
Okay.
Donnie the Dragon Slayer Diamond, real DJ name or
I'm going
fake?
first.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that sounds like a porn name, so no.
I say that's a real name.
You're right. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
I don't
God.
see.
name?
All right, just don't hit me in the
See,
nose.
I don't have the ding, ding, ding. When I
that's
used to
fine.
train,
That's right. Yes.
I used to train.
Hey, on our podcast, we don't even have
That
music
bell
beds.
is still in the studio. It's
pretty good, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, we just play the whole fucking time anyway.
You have a wire.
Here we go. Number 2, Full Metal Jackie. Is Full Metal Jackie a real disc jockey name? Go ahead, fellas.
I'm going first again.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. What do you got?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah,
You
I
are
know Full
both
Metal Jackie.
Correct. Here we go. The third one is
Oh, you know?
Yeah,
Her?
Jackie Kaiser. She's awesome.
so.
Oh.
Josh is up 1. Brian Exploding Balzini. Is Brian Exploding Balzini a real or WBV name?
It's a real awesome name.
Yeah. Depends on what year we're talking about. I'm going to say yes.
I say no. That's a wrestling name.
The answer is no.
Wrestler?
We are tied up. No, I just made it up.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Oh, these are all my
I'm gonna
heads
use
that I make
that,
up.
man.
Oh yeah, I write my own shit, bro. Here we go. Harry, horror scene underpants, hammer mill. Harry, horror scene underpants, kind of like we were talking about earlier, like when you shit yourself.
Yeah, that was a
Hammer
horror
mill.
scene.
Is that real or is that WBV?
I'm going to go real.
I say fake.
Fake it is.
Yeah.
Mike Shue is up.
That's right.
Here we go. Next one, WBV. Pimp with a limp. Pimp with the pimp with the limp. Sorry, pimp with the limp. Real or fake?
I feel like that's what Kevin Hart used to go as when he started as an open mic comic. It was something weird like that. So I'm going to go real.
I'm going to say real.
Correctamundo, and it's real.
Yeah.
DJ Laz, 106.7 Miami. By the way, Full
Pimp
Metal
with a limp?
Pimp with a limp is DJ
that's
Laz,
awesome.
106.7. I'm sorry, Full Metal Jackie was Tayo Rocks, 92.7 in Illinois.
She's got a
Carbondale.
great syndicated metal show. Also.
All right, Pimp with a limp. Here's another one. Spaz.
Fake!
Honest to God, dude, it was on the list. Because I was like, oh, these guys would like if I do a bit like this. He was on the fucking list of shitty. I was like, I was trying to find shitty.
But you know what? He's
DJ
not
names?
the only
Oh, I remember that.
spaz,
No,
though.
I know that.
Okay.
But it was funny. It said spaz.
Yeah,
I was laughing.
yeah, I
I'm
know.
like,
He got singled
I trained
out.
that motherfucker.
Yeah,
you
no
know?
shit. That's right, you did. You trained spaz.
All right,
People can blame you.
You fuckers got that right. All right, here we go. DJ Swimming Paul, full of AIDS blood. DJ Swimming Paul, full of AIDS
I
blood.
want that. I
I know
want
it's
it
so
to be
fucked
real.
up. You think it has to be real.
Like in 80s and he was trying to be trendy and timely. Fake.
Fake.
Correct.
Yeah, we're awesome.
I believe Shue's still up. Here's your last one.
Okay.
This one's going to be hard. like both of you guys when you leave here.
In your
today.
balls.
Come On Eileen morning show, dropping batches of songs all morning. Come On Eileen
Again, that's brilliant.
morning show,
It is brilliant.
dropping batches of songs.
Sounds like a morning show in a flyover state. I'm going real.
I say fake.
Fake is the winner. Mike Shue is the winner.
Alex
Trebek's
Trebek's
gonna
going to outlive us all.
Sounds. We should have all that fucking fun stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm a genius.
That's what happens, you know? That's what happens. I don't think...
I always wanted to change my name to Dick Monument.
Dick Monument.
Yeah, that's a good one.
As
Memorable.
a radio name? Well,
Yeah.
I honestly liked Ozone Cafe. I don't know, like how he sort of set it up. But, you know, Mistress Carrie, that she had that for so long.
That's not a real name?
Sorry, Josh.
Oh,
damn
it's
it.
funny.
Didn't mean to tell you like this.
Yeah. When you see, you go on LinkedIn and it's like, oh, her name's Hans Christian Andersen. You know?
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
going
you
to
know
tell
what
me
they don't-
LB isn't his given
They don't
name.
let you use like stage names or
On-
on-air names on
Yeah, that's
LinkedIn.
so weird.
Oh, really?
Which is weird to me because it's a business kind of social networking.
And that's what you
yeah.
do.
And that's her business name. So you think they'd let her use it,
Hey,
but
if they don't let Jay-Z, they're not going to let anyone.
they don't let Jay-Z use his name.
On LinkedIn, no.
That's balls.
Really?
He doesn't have a LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Here's my resume.
Well, that's
he has a Jay-Z. That's what he has.
that's a bit on its own. Is the you know, who's I was gonna say Reginald Denny was the guy who got beat up in L.A. But
Right.
what's
Why are we bringing up
No,
Reginald
I
Denny?
know there's a reason.
This conversation's going in a very strange direction right now.
Well, my first name's Denny,
right?
And I
you're
never
going to
got-
change it to Reginald Denny?
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know what?
Well-
You're going to be like, are you that guy?
Well-
Oh, okay.
The actual one of the names of this podcast, besides Welcome Back Voorhees, was The Revenge of Reginald Denny. Was going to be the name
Oh
of the
my
podcast.
God.
I'm not kidding. Anyway, it really was.
But nobody knows how to spell Reginald. So.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck was I talking about?
I don't know, man.
prior
You're
to
freaking
that-
me out. Of names, radio names.
Oh, radio names. Yeah.
Mistress Carrie, that's not a real name, apparently.
Yeah, she's got a regular name. But I mean, anybody that sort of had a name that wasn't their own, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like Rocco, fucking Birdsey, these guys.
Well, that
Like-
was Birdsy's last name.
Oh, Tom Birdsey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Birdsey.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing with like everybody though, because when I was an intern at ZLX, I found out that Carter Allen's not even his real name.
No.
Oh, really?
It's Alan Carter. I was like, why flip it?
Yeah, why are you even flipping it?
like,
Yeah,
what are you
it
doing?
flows better. You want something that flows, it's kind of easy, memorable, you know, something like
Mike
that.
Wild.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
Mike
Chucky
Wild.
Perks,
yeah,
man, my
Mike
buddy.
Wild. I was almost Mike Lee.
Really?
When I got when I got that job in Pittsfield, I'm like, should I get a radio name? I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, should I have I was driving to my first shift, and I'm like, should I change my name
What
for
if they
on
ask
air?
me? What should I say?
You know,
like,
it's like,
yeah.
should I just make one up? How about Mike Lee? I'm like, Mike Lee sounds good. Mike Lee, and I can turn the mic on. Hey, it's Mike Shue. I was like, okay, I'll just
Yeah.
keep the real
Mine
name.
was Chuck Hammer.
Yeah.
I said it in the mirror to myself. Yeah, you're Chuck Hammer. You're Chuck Hammer. And then one on the air, I went, hey, it's Denny.
Right, it's Denny. Because it's
Gee.
stupid. When I turn the mic on, it sounds
but
stupid.
Chuck Hammer stayed at
Well,
home.
it's funny
right?
because my uncle was a big fan of like BCN. In other words, one of the guys that inspired me to get on the radio. They always call him Smoking Johnny D. Yeah, Smoking Johnny D.
Oh, no.
Right? So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll be Smoking Denny D. But that's the thought that I had.
Right.
Like you said, sort of driving to work. But in the
Yeah.
end, so much better to be yourself.
You're smoking
It
D.
Just fucking Denny. What's up, man? Dude, I listen to my old tapes. I go, fucking Denny.
You ever smoked D, Denny?
Wait, so let's get back to. Wait, you guys talking about eating corn?
No.
I eat corn
Yes.
the long way. You guys like eating corn the long way?
How else would you eat it?
I know, right? So tell me how you
She was
two.
confused.
How did you two get married? How did this
It's Massachusetts.
WAAF?
It's legal.
I know it is, and so isn't weed. But how did you guys connect in the afternoon show? Because
I
I'm
wouldn't leave him alone.
very jealous of Josh. I was hoping to get a call from Mike, but
Josh, right place, right time.
I
Yeah.
won a contest.
tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about it.
Well, he pays me $20 a week
Yep. I still owe him the
to
last
hang out
one.
with me,
but
just to hang out with me. So,
He's a paid friend.
yeah, that's right. You my friend, you give me $20 a week. I'll whatever. I'll
Yeah,
say
go on my
I'll say you're
fucking-
my friend.
Go to my Patreon.
Whatever. Yeah, that's right.
Fucking hang out with me, bro.
Fucking yeah. No, well, I was originally they put me on with LB,
I know,
and
right? Yeah.
and LB.
That's an interesting story in itself.
Well, yeah, you know he along with as many physical ailments that are well documented, he wasn't very happy.
Yeah.
And he had been doing, the Hillman Morning Show for so long, so he was used to a certain kind of radio.
Routine, yeah.
He's never done, a music show, quick breaks, things like that.
Right.
I don't think he was happy with that, and I don't think he was happy with the way the company was treating him. And I wish he had mentioned something before just up and quitting on the air.
Yeah.
But
that shocked you, right?
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
I felt like...
well, we didn't say anything for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
I thought he was coming back.
What was the last thing he said to you before he pushed the door and left?
I quit.
That's it.
he said, I'm saying goodbye, enjoy. And then he got up, he opened the door, and it was shutting. And then he opened it again and said, Josh, you do the sports now.
Yeah.
And then he left. And I was like,
I was like, really?
No.
You're really leaving? Are you leaving for real? I don't know if it was with him. You never know. It's a bit. Is he doing something funny? Is he going to come back later?
And he said something before we went on, and I didn't remember it until after, that he was like, he came in the back and sat down, and like we always joke around about stuff, and he said something like, you know what, I'm just going to quit on the air today. And I was just like, can you imagine? And then he started doing it, and I was like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, man. You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt. I think we can give Ozone a call. Give me 1 sec. All right, here we go. Are we actually getting John Ozone Osterlind on the line? Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
There he is.
There he is, Ozone.
He's the god. We've got
That's
Mike
right, man.
Shue. We've got Josh Dolan. It's WBV Podcast 130-something. And, hey, man, what's the deal with, WAAF dying? I mean, what are your thoughts on that, John?
Well, I mean, I was bummed out. Probably not as bummed out as Mike Shabuti, but I was pretty bummed out. A station that 50 years old, and it rocked New England for all of those years, and then all of a sudden they say it's gone, and they said it's going Christian. When I heard it was going Christian, all I could say was Jesus.
You should put a robe. You should put a robe on.
Literally Jesus. Yeah.
John, what did WAF do for your career? Because you were down in Connecticut, right? Connecticut? Yeah.
Yeah, I was. My first big job was at WCCC in Hartford, Connecticut. And
Howard Stern was there, right?
Yeah, Stern was there a decade before me.
Yeah.
And Bruce Mittman, who was the new general manager at AAF, just happened to be driving to Boston from New York. He had CCC on in Hartford because it's right in between. They always said Hartford is a perfect place to take a piss or take a dump.
Yep, that's
you're driving
right.
From Boston, New York,
Yes.
And so he heard me, and he called me up on the listener line, and he said, "Hey, how would you like to come to work at WAF?" And I'm like, "What is this? Some kind of joke?"
Right. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Usually people called up and said, "Hey, man, play Motley Crue."
Yeah. Wait. Hold on, Ozone. Did you say it was the listener line, not the the emergency line or whatever you call it? What's the one that was red?
Bruce wouldn't have that, man.
No, what was the fucking red line that?
Oh, the hotline.
Hotline. Sorry, that
Right,
was
yeah.
It wasn't the hotline. It was a regular.
Yeah, he didn't know. He just
Wow.
called. He called the listener line because he didn't know anybody at CCC. And so and it was completely unexpected, and I said sure, and I went up there. The next thing you know, I'm working on AF, and I went to college in the Boston area. I went to Dean Junior College in Franklin, and I remember listening to AF when I was in college, and I never thought I'd be on it, so it was pretty cool.
I know. So, Ozone, you've been on this podcast before. I think it was honestly probably one of my first 10 podcasts he was on in fucking John So Great. But I always remember that one of your influences, my influences, I'm sure anybody that's been in radio, was Howard Stern. And it's funny because I've had a subscription, for a while since he went to satellite. And there was a little segment where, he talked about WAF. I don't know if you guys heard this, but it was a good chunk.
Oh, right. Yeah, he mentioned it.
It was really cool. Yeah, he actually,
Because he went to BU.
Yep. So he said I would drive in this
Yeah.
little station out in Worcester, which became a monster eventually. This is, I'm assuming, the 70s. But he would say, I loved it, and now it's Christian. And then he started doing a bit on it where it's
God, yes.
WAF, you're all going to die, that sort of thing. But it was cool to hear, but it's so sad. The station you worked at, John, for many years, and you... Thank God you actually saw something in me to give me A's for my internship. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on just radio in general now, man? You're doing a classic rock station down in Louisiana.
Well, yeah, and it's owned by the same company that owned AAF. So I mean, I could go in next week and they could say, "Hey, we just sold our station to Jewish broadcasting, or a Muslim or Hindu. Who knows? So even though I was fortunate. They just re-signed me to a 3-year contract extension.
Oh, good for you, man. That's great.
But still, if they want to sell the station, I could lose my job tomorrow. So, I think radio is a lot different now than when Shu and I were working together back at AAF, and we talked about this when he had me on the other day. It's so much different now, and I blame social media. Because if someone sees something or hears something they don't like, they just take it to social media and they go after people's jobs, they go after their sponsorships, and the people who are in charge, because of social media, can actually see it in front of their face. Before the internet and before social media, hey, if people didn't like you, so what? But now they can actually see it, in front of their face, and that's why they have the cancel culture. Everything seems to people want people's voices shut down if they don't like something or they hear something that offends them. It used to be you just turned off the radio. Now they go after your job. So it's a lot different than it was when I was back on AAF.
And not only the bosses can see stuff on Twitter and on social media, but the clients of the radio station see that also. And they're like, well, I don't know if I want to advertise with this guy, and they'll go and they say, I'm pulling my advertising because of this guy.
Wow.
And at that point, you're the station, you're a liability. And you're helping the station bleed money, so they're going to get rid of you. They're going to.
Have you guys ran into that shit where somebody says, I don't like what Mike Shue said and this block or whatever? I honestly remember getting a fax. I think I talked about, Irish is being drunk. I'm a drunk Irishman, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
I got a fax at AAF. It's 2:30 in the morning. He's like, whatever you said, that was fucking racist and this and that. I'm like, what? Yeah. But you guys have been full time. We were talking about this earlier, John. All the crazies that will write to you guys, like send letters from jail or send crazy stuff, or people that would literally get you into litigation. Like, have you had issues with that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Look, as far as I'm concerned, if there's something I don't like on television, I don't watch. If there's something I don't like on the radio, I don't listen.
Exactly.
But people these days, because of social media, they'll call your advertisers, they'll do all kinds of things. Matter of fact, yesterday on my show, I was saying, I can't believe everything's closing down. This is unprecedented. We've never seen this in our lifetime before with coronavirus.
Yep.
There's no sports now. There's not going to be any sports for a month at least. And I've never seen anything like this happen before. It makes me long for the days of Ebola. I miss Ebola because
I'm a big fan of AIDS, but whatever.
But
I'm a SARS
and of
guy.
course, someone texted in and they got mad at me, and But what are you going to do? I mean, you're still going to tell jokes, but you got to be really careful, and you never know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen, what the future is. But it sucks what happened at WAAF. It really does.
Yeah. Denny, to answer your question, I once had a listener file a restraining order against me and Mistress Carrie, claiming that.
Have you ever met them?
No. But I had to go sit at a coffee shop up the street from the courthouse I had to go to just in case the judge wanted to see me. But the lawyer that the company hired for me said, why don't you just go here because it's better if you're not there. She just wants to see you. This woman was psycho, all right? So she said that Carrie and I, along with the band Korn, would harass her, follow her to work. And this was all in from 1994 to 1998, where at that point I was living in a whole other state. I was living in Virginia.
Where you were doing that to me.
That's right. I was totally a whole nother state. She said that we would call her work, we would call her boss, we would follow her around, we'd threaten her life, all this stuff. And then
bullshit.
What's great is she threw in Ron Valeri too.
Really?
She's like, Ron Valeri would orchestrate these things where they'd show up to my work and try to embarrass me and everything like that. So I got a call from the front desk one day. It's when I was doing middays, and the woman Ashley's like, there's a cop here to see you. I'm like, oh, great. What the fuck did I do? So I walk out there, and the guy's like, hey, Mike Shue, big fan. And I'm like, okay, this is probably just wanted to come up and say hi. He goes, hey, I got this summons for you.
No.
Like,
you've been.
I'm sorry. I got to do that. I'm doing this as a favor to the Westboro cops because they didn't want to come out here and stuff. I'm like, okay, thanks, buddy. Thanks for listening. And then, so I had to go, and this is the first one was the coffee shop one, and so I'm sitting there, and Carrie, she worried about her safety. So when she went, she had this buddy she met in Afghanistan that was in the Mass National Guard. This guy named Chuck, super great guy. He was like he could kill people with his bare hands or something like that. So he called me and said, "Hey, if you want me to hang out with you, if you have to go to the courthouse, I'll do that. I'll just make sure nothing happens." I'm like, "That'd be great if you want to do that." So I hung out, had coffee with him. My lawyer calls and says, "Okay, you're all clear." Once she started talking, the judge said, "This lady's out of her mind." And,
Wow.
And so he's calling me from his car, and he's like, "Hold on, she's coming towards the car. Hold on." And then I could hear her knocking, going, "Are you talking to Mike? I just want to talk to Mike. Just let me talk to him." He's like, "I'm sorry, you can't talk to Mike." He's like, "Mike, I got to go." And I was like, oh, my God, this is too fucking real. And then she did it again about a year later.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she tried to do it again. Same judge, though. Judge saw it and said, "No, it's not even making it."
Why can't we have huge-titted, hot stalkers? Like, I just want to fuck you. Come here, please.
It doesn't.
Please come here and fuck me.
Denny, if they have huge tits, it doesn't matter. They're out of their fucking minds. You're gonna wake up with a knife to your throat.
Johnny, you never had something like that? Somebody who's fucking bananas?
Oh yeah, there was a couple of stalkers back in the day, but when Shu told that story, I didn't know if it was a crazy person like it ended up being or something real, because back when we were on AAF, the cops used to show up there every so often. I mean, and sometimes it was for the listeners, and sometimes it was for us, the people who were on the air.
Yeah. A lot of times, John, you would take those crazy people who call up and you make them part of the show, which I thought was genius. It wasn't like Wheelchair Fred comes to mind. One of the great characters. My wife's favorite character on your show, by the way. Every time when we were talking to you on AAF that Thursday, my wife kept texting in saying, "Ask him where Wheelchair Fred is." But yeah,
I think the best thing about John, and I always say this, and I said it on AAF, was you were so welcoming to me. And, in the radio career, I looked up to you so big. But, like, a lot of the radio people I met prior to you, they were just like, whatever, kid. But, I always appreciated that you were like, "Hey, man, hang out. Let's go to the house." We used to hang out at his fucking house. Anthony's there playing fucking cards with my brother, taking bong hits. Like, we had so much fun, man. And I really appreciate that about you. And, you got me on the air, to do that swing shift. So, appreciate it, man. Do we lose you?
John, you okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
You still there? Sorry, it broke up.
Yeah, no, dude, we had that house in Framingham. I'm surprised it's still standing. We had such great times there. And your father, Denny, put in a hot water heater in my house.
That's right. I forgot about that. Dude, we were talking about, remember the cat that we took home from your house after partying all night? Me and the wife, Katie, were hanging out, getting fucked
That's
up.
right.
Yep, and you had a cat party. I remember Blaze Juski there. We're all fucking hanging out. And this cat's tiny. He's a little cute thing. Meow, meow, meow. This motherfucker turned in. We took him home that night. Of course, we were fucked up. And this he turned into Ted Bundy of cats. He's like, "Fuck you." He'd swipe me when you come by. But I was telling them earlier it's funny. We actually got rid of him eventually when we had kids. But I went to see you down in New Orleans, and his brother was there, which is Mittens.
Pork chop was
Pork
his name,
chop.
yeah.
Mittens. Pork chop. But I was like, "Oh my God, that's Mogi's brother who we gave away." Sorry. All right.
So, John, can people listen to you online?
Oh yeah. I'm on. We're on the radio.com app. The station in New Orleans I'm on is Bayou 95.7. It's a New Orleans classic rock station. So you could either go to bayou957.com, or you could just go to the radio.com app, and you could listen to the show online as well. We're an hour behind you up there because we're Central Time, and even though I've been here 12 years, I'm still not really used to that. I still feel like I'm an hour off. But so your time, the show would be on 4:30. We're behind you. It would be on 6:30 in the morning until 11. Because I'm on 5:30 to 10 here. But if you can't listen live, the podcast is available on our website. It goes up about 10 or 15 minutes every day after the show. And the good thing about that is there's no commercials and there's no music. So it's a pretty quick listen. And you could hear the podcast of my show get that at bayou957.com.
Is that a murder in the background there, John?
Are they coming
With
for you,
somebody-
John?
By the
This
way,
is New Orleans.
just
Dude, this is New Orleans, and I'm standing on the street. So yeah.
It's another stalker.
So this is WBV Podcast 132. Ozone is here. John Osterlind. I was going to say, you're a Connecticut guy. So for you, have you sort of gotten that southern drawl? You've been there for a while now. Has it sort of, you feel like you're kind of slowing down a little bit?
No, never.
I love John. I was like, how's it going?
Just like when I moved to Boston to be on AAF,
Yeah.
I never stopped saying the letter R. I never changed my voice, you know.
Oh, right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, you mean actually try to impersonate the Boston accent? You have the most general American accent. I mean, that's like the way to go, right? It's like Ohio, general American.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised, and some people have told me that I'm surprised that my show ended up doing well here in New Orleans. I've been here 12 years now, because usually they don't like people that don't sound like them down here. They don't like Yankees, you know. They still look at me as a damn Yankee, and the difference between a Yankee and the difference between a Yankee and a damn Yankee is the damn Yankee hasn't left yet, you know.
Right.
Ah,
exactly.
okay.
That's probably why they like you, John, because you don't sound like anybody else, because you're unlike anyone else on the air around.
He's very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're just loving you to your face, bro.
Oh, come on.
No, but you do. You could honestly wait. Didn't you say you were going to do a gig in Vegas? What happened with that? Remember you said that?
Yeah, well, I had lost my job, my first job that I got here,
Which was
the
a
afternoon talk show host for Clear Channel, iHeart, because they went bankrupt. I lost my job, and I hung around for 6 months, and nothing really happened with anything. And I said, well, I want to do something. I've always wanted to live in Vegas. And so I went out there, and I was working on a couple of other things outside of radio, and I was having a good time. And I was only there for 5 months. And then all of a sudden I got the call from Entercom to come back to New Orleans, because the morning show on the classic rock station ended up being syndicated to my old station that I worked at here in New Orleans. So they went over and went to my old station, and then I came back after 5 months in Vegas and started doing mornings on their old station, and we've had some success against them. They're really big in the South. They're called Walton and Johnson, although Walton just died, but they're still calling it that. And they got some other guy in there. Have you ever heard of the radio guy, a top 40 guy named Kid Craddock?
Yeah.
You know that he's been dead for like 7 or 8 years, and they still call his show. He's syndicated all over the country.
And
it's the Kid Craddock show.
They still call it Kid Craddock. He's been dead for a
From
while.
the coffin? Does he do it from the coffin?
Yeah, he died 7 or 8 years ago here in New Orleans.
got his own show,
But
The Coffin.
his show was so successful and so big in syndication that they never changed the name. So he's been dead for 7 or 8 years, and they still call it the Kid Craddock radio show.
Jesus,
It's like the Dick Clark show.
Right.
It's Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, John, we were talking about this earlier. Is the radio name? So I remember I was, Tom Cruise, and we were thinking about, I'm going to go on the air as Smoking Denny D. What's my name going to be? And Mike had his names and this and that, and Josh was Josh.
Well, it was not
Hi.
Josh Dolan for a while.
Not
It was
Josh
Nagi.
Dolan.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
Josh Dolan. That's really good.
Thank you.
John, did you have any names besides obviously what we know, Ozone, John Osterlind? Were you ever fucking Peter Simpson or something?
No, and looking back, I wish I did take a stage name, because
No, dude.
using your real name, especially a name like mine, it's not very common. Like people, if they don't like the show and I'm at a restaurant or something, or they know who I am or whatever, they can just come up to me and say, "You suck."
Right. Yeah. I get that all the time. I'm not even
But
on the
no,
radio
I
anymore.
never used a fake name. Ozone was a nickname somebody gave me in Hartford at CCC, and I just kept that on AAF. But if I was gonna use a fake name, it would probably be Isaiah Moskowitz.
I could see that on the back of a football
Yeah,
jersey,
that's
down the
awesome.
fucking arms, down
That's
both
awesome.
arms. That's a great name.
That's fantastic.
All right, Johnny, thank you for joining the show. We really appreciate it, man. You're a legend in our eyes. I mean, Mike Shue and myself worship you, but you're a good friend of ours too, and really appreciate that. I was trying to say earlier was, man, you're just so cool to us, and fucking, you're killing it as always.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, John.
Well, guys, thank you for having me. and Mike Shue, I know you're going to succeed wherever you go. Denny, keep having your wife spit out kids, and Josh, it's nice meeting you. I've heard nothing but good things about you. Help Mike Shue get to the next level, man.
Yeah, help me, Josh.
I'll try.
Thanks, Johnny. Have a great night, man.
You two guys, take care.
There he is, Johnny Ozone
My idol.
Osterlind. Can you even believe he's cool enough to hang with Tom Cruise and Mike Shue and JJ Dolan?
Me, definitely. I can't believe he was talking to you. That's crazy.
Yeah, you're
That's
lucky.
crazy pants.
Because that was intern Tom Cruise. He goes, you got to eat all those buttholes in order to meet, these celebrities.
Oh, yeah, that's back when that was the business model.
I mean,
Right,
that's why.
yeah.
Well, he goes, "Hey, you want to meet Jerry Cantrell?" He goes, "Eat that dude's butthole for 25 minutes." And I'm gonna
Was
add,
it Wheelchair Fred?
yes.
Hey, my butthole.
And he would put tuna. He would put tuna on the
Why'd
butthole.
you make him sound like
Butthole.
Wow, is that guy still alive?
I don't know,
He's in
man.
a wheelchair, not
My
that,
wife
right?
is a huge Wheelchair Fred fan.
Wasn't one of his lines that Ozone would say over and over was, what the fuck was? Of course, I can't think of it right now on the spot. But
He wasn't the guy that went, "Hey, whore!"
oh no, but he had one bit he would do over and over.
Your fridge is open, man. Beer's
I'm
getting
sorry.
warm.
Yeah.
You're letting the cold out.
Well, he did what Fred said. What Fred said. What? I can't believe I'm doing that.
No, he's bringing back memories now.
happening?
I'm trying to think of what was the fucking he had. Sort
There's
of
a guy
Howard
up
Stern-
there with boobs.
Yes, there was that. You're gonna get to it, by the way.
In Marlboro. I ate there last week. No.
I had one of my buddies come in. He would go, "Can you feel it, Boston? Scream for me, Boston!"
That's what Ozone
So I-
was great at.
I
getting
would
those
use
weird
that.
things, those weird little things.
Yeah.
And that's all you needed, like 15 seconds of that.
Yeah.
Or like, there's a guy up there with boobs.
Yep.
Like,
It's just
no context.
So
just-
it's funny if you go back to when I started in radio, and it's pretty much the same you started. You're talking about the late '90s, where when I was in college, it
No,
would be
I was
records.
89. I'm old, remember?
Well, no, we're on
Yeah.
the same page.
Okay.
I was in Westfield at '93, so it's
Okay.
pretty much. So we had records. The CD was somewhat new, but I would make mixes on a cassette tape, so I didn't have to fucking deal with records.
An
It's like
actual
me
mixtape.
dealing with technology at the time.
Right.
So I'd be like, I don't want to fucking play records at a college rate. I just want to play some stuff, do some good bits. But, you listen back, it's horrifying. But then you fast forward to when I started as an intern, it was these CDs that were in their own cases.
yeah, the Denon cases.
Is that what it's called?
It's called a jewel case.
Interesting.
And
right?
you had particular. There's a specific machine you player that you use for those, right? And then that
So
was to
it
protect.
wouldn't get
was,
scratched.
right? It was to protect the CD, so you weren't constantly taking the CD out of the case and scratching it up. You just pop it in there. You have the dial. Have you ever? You must have used one, Josh.
Yeah, there was a bunch in the new studio down in that CD
Right,
wine
yeah.
closet thing.
Yeah, they got the CD players now are very nice as opposed to the old beat up droids we had.
No kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, so there was all in the jewel cases. Yeah.
What was the so I used to use I had a bunch of bits on a mini disc. Remember the
Yeah,
mini
the mini disc, Wave of the
come that-
Future.
how come that didn't take
I don't
off,
know
you
why
think?
that didn't take off because it was wicked portable. I'm surprised
Yeah.
they didn't have them in every car. But
Because
for
we had one I could slip in. That's what I have background,
yeah.
funny background sounds and shit. You know what I'm saying, Josh? It was wacky.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
radio.
I
I
don't
was
know.
like, Dinner Dutch Tom Cruise wacky hour.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
have
know
the
why
wacky
that
hour.
didn't take off because you thought it was perfect. To me, it was great. I was waiting for everything to be released on that. Maybe it was a packaging thing where they. The record company said, "Well, we have to have some kind of packaging that's big enough for people to see," or something.
Well, now
like
it's so
that,
high tech you don't even need it.
Right? Yeah. There's
don't need
it's all
anything.
gone. It's all.
I mean, look
files
what we're
now.
doing right now. I got a mixer. I've got a shitty computer, but it happens to record this. But if you think about when I started in radio, the idea that you could speak into a computer, record it, put funny sound effects, play this fucking iPad thing you can touch and move. It's amazing how in 20 years so much has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, 20 years ago, I had a phone that you had to push the numbers, but it was in my pocket.
right.
It was in my pocket. But now fast forward to this, like where so much has changed. It's great, man. But I honestly go back to radio and sort of why WAAF ended. It's technology. Don't get me wrong, it's the fact that some company said we have $10 million and we want to, buy your shit. But I feel like when you have satellite, you have podcasts, you have, all the shit that's encroaching. Do you feel like FM and AM could die as a medium at some point? Or do you think it'll
I don't think
going?
radio will ever go away completely. I think it's still essential in some ways to the communities that they serve. Those airwaves will always be there. So someone's going to use them because it'll either be very easy it'll be very cheap, or it's just something that won't go away, but it will diminish further. Right. And you're right. We're not competing against other radio stations anymore. We're competing against Spotify and Pandora and YouTube, and you can get music, especially music radio. You can get your music anywhere. With the internet at any time you want, any song you want. It's not like you got to, like what maybe you did this. You sat there and you taped the song from the radio.
Oh yeah.
So you're waiting for that song to come on. So you'd always clip the first 10 seconds. And
you know what I did, Mike Shue and Josh Dolan? I say your full names. That's what I do.
I like it.
I taped "Pour Some Sugar on Me," an entire B-side of a blank tape. Pour Some Sugar on Me, 1987. A fucking million times.
Oh, over and over?
Correct.
Why?
Because I love Joe Elliott.
Okay.
Wait.
That's an unhealthy love.
And
there.
Stephen Clark.
I thought
you
meant
just love that
taped
one song.
over.
If you love Joe Elliott, why can't you listen to the whole Hysteria?
No. I
album
wanted
or
the
something
sugar
like
on me for the full half an hour, 45 minutes.
Were you running some
I
kind
was
of
playing
stripper training school? All right, here's the endurance test, okay? Here we go. 30 minutes straight. Pour some sugar on me and go.
First one to stop goes home.
That's right.
And I was playing Sega Genesis at the time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Pour
I
some
never owned a video
You've
game
never
system.
fucking played the same song over and over and over. My brother's well known for that. I go, fucking stop playing that song.
I did that maybe once or twice when I was working in Richmond because whenever someone would call up and say, this song fucking sucks,
I
never
used
play
to
it
love
again.
that,
And I'd be
yeah.
like, oh, really? Let's just play it again. But I've never done that.
For yourself.
No, on the
When
on the air.
No. I'm
Oh.
talking about when you're at home.
Oh.
Like my brother would
yeah.
play.
You listen to something on loop.
Yeah, well,
That's what we were just talking about. My
Yeah, but
cassette.
not-
Do you want me to get the cassette and play
no.
it?
I don't.
can
want,
listen
I don't.
to it.
No, I don't want that at all. I can't do it for 30 minutes straight.
No.
I can listen to a 30-minute song.
I think at that point I wasn't sure if I want penis or vagina, and I think I chose vagina at that point and said, you know what? I'm gonna throw this cassette in the garbage and go get some vag, bro. I went.
it was
to,
that easy for you, huh?
Yeah. Well, I went to Dunks first. And I got
Right.
fucking.
It was kind of like the decision you made to quit smoking. It was,
Right. I'm gonna take vag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the route I'm
Exactly.
going. It's like
Okay.
a vegan.
Well,
or
it's
eating
obviously
meat.
you have kids, so you've taken that route a few times.
Oh, you bet your ass, dude.
Yeah.
You want me to explain it?
No. I
I
know
got a
how it
chart,
works.
man. I'll show
I know
you.
how it works.
Chart.
I'm
This
into
kid's
it.
organized.
I do it. I like chicks.
Hey, the
Swear to
ultra.
God, I do.
Where did I see that bit recently? He's ultra male, dude. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? So yeah, no, I mean we're talking about the end of radio and stuff like that, but
Not the end of radio.
Okay.
where
that's
do
what we're
you
talking
think?
about.
Where do you guys, who are the WAF afternoon show? And by the way, I am jealous of you because I would love to have gotten that. And you told me that you were going to get your own solo gig.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead and expand on that a little bit.
Well, the whole thing was weird. Just the fact that I even got to work at WAF is Barham. The fact that I got to work at WAF is something that I never thought would happen. And then to work on the Hillman Morning Show and to like
you were doing comedy, and then
Yeah.
what'd you do? Like say, hey man, I want to be an intern, or how did it work?
the whole transition was fuzzy. I went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I had been on a few radio shows as a guest, like as a stand-up comedian, and
Oh, cool.
And like seeing all the comedians on like Opie and Anthony and like Jim Norton,
Unbelievable.
in that, yeah,
Love 'em.
in
Yeah.
that role, I was kind of like, I kind of want to do that. And
We
then
had Mark Norman on the WBV podcast.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we
Oh.
did. Yep.
He's awesome.
WBV something. Look it up.
And then I always wanted to be like, because I'm a huge hockey guy. I was like, if I could like somehow be involved in hockey and comedy, and somehow like do what Joe Rogan's doing, how he's like in the
Right,
UFC
right,
and he
right.
does his podcast.
Yep,
I was
yep.
like, I want that. And then somehow doors kept opening, and I kept walking through them, and then I ended up there. And it's just timing, and just keep showing up.
Yep.
I'm not more talented than somebody else. It's
Yeah.
just somebody else got fed up and they went to go work at Home Depot, and I was
Yeah.
just fine with being poor.
It's funny you say that because honestly, when my internship ended with Ozone, I just kept showing up. That's
Right.
how I got on the air.
Right.
I just,
No, well, that's what you
I
gotta
did
do.
I did my free time.
You got to show your worth before you can.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that still happens
you gotta be
nowadays.
persistent,
But
and
that's
which
what
you
I
were.
did.
Right.
And you know what's funny? How I got my first, not to cut you off, but we'll get back to when you got on the mic, but how I got the first indication that I was going to be a disc jockey on the air was a fucking fax. Mike Brangiaforti sends a fax.
The man who
And
trained
it's-
me.
Yeah, I swear to God, he fucking sends a fax. I go, what the fuck is this? It says, Tom Cruise, can you do overnights this weekend? And I don't know if he was high out of his mind or what.
He was down
but-
the hall.
Oh,
Right.
but I see it come scrolling on. I go, what the fuck? Yeah. I didn't know how to say it back, but I go, fuck yeah, into the fax, and it didn't work. But I'll never forget the first night. It was, you fucking suck. Yeah. You fucking suck.
Oh, yeah, man.
What's your name, Denny? That's fucking gay.
You're a homo.
You like peck? I go, yeah.
Yeah.
I eat it fucking sideways,
Oh, yeah.
bro.
And those were calls too. When
Oh.
Yes.
with the text machine,
The text
you get it
line opened up a
instant.
whole
So,
new
what
thing.
was your first time cracking the mic?
The first time ever on the radio was, I don't even really remember because it was on AAF, but it was like so early on, and I was just like, cool. I think it was at like a live broadcast or something because I was the fake Cam Neely guy, and Greg was like, come over here, like do the bit.
Oh, okay, right.
And I think it was
you?
at-
No, you came to visit me at Paparazzi.
Yeah, you were gonna put me on the air.
I did put you on there, didn't I?
You were going to, but Greg wouldn't throw it to you, and you were like, oh, he's not. And then it went to commercial. You're like, sorry, man.
Okay.
But I actually, I've told this story before, but I was in college, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I want to be in show business. I want to do stand-up. They're making me do gym classes for a fucking broadcasting degree, and I was like, they're just taking my money. This is stupid. I don't need this degree. And I was lucky enough to drop out. But right before I did that, I was skipping classes, and I was sitting in my car, and I was listening to the Rock for Change, and Shu was down at Paparazzi in Concord, and I was like, fuck it. I've never met Shu.
How long ago was this?
Oh, 2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was like, and it was in Gardner, so it was like an hour and a half to.
No, Paparazzi, that was in Concord.
That's what I said.
You said Gardner.
That's where my school
love
was.
when you
Oh,
guys-
that's.
And
Oh,
then
you
I-
went to the Mount?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
And then I drove
okay.
to Concord.
Oh, nice.
And
I
then-
love when you guys fight.
You like that?
It's so
All
cute.
right. If you
That
want to
never
watch, it's
happens.
extra $100.
Oh, by the way, WBV audience, they both have shawls and Afghans on. They're matching
wow.
Afghans. Right
I like
now.
the way they flow. They
We gotta
breathe.
get some merch.
I have to breathe. I get
Actually, that's your
sweaty.
gift when you leave. Is
I
I
get
actually
WBV
knitted-
shawl.
No, it's an Afghan that
Oh,
I
an
made.
Afghan? Okay,
Afghan
good.
shawl.
As long as it breathes.
Sorry.
But the live broadcast, I think, on the morning show was the first time. And then when I was an intern for Carlson McKenzie on
CLX.
WZ
Yeah.
They-
How are they? Are they cool?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And they used me for a bunch of bits, and I was just every time I was like, "Well, that was the last time I was on the radio. Save that audio."
Did you get paid to do
No,
that?
no,
Oh,
no.
no, I hear you. Believe
And
me.
then, but the first time I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I was like, "I can't believe this is real." Was I got an email from the Connecticut School of Broadcasting saying AAF is looking for help, and they were like, "If we set an interview up with Mistress Carey, do you want it?" And I was like, "Absolutely."
Help
And
us,
then-
Josh. Help us.
And then I was like, "You guys need me," and then
And then the station went off the air.
yep. So,
you
but
just hit the fast forward button.
but when I went in for the interview with Carrie, and that's when I met Isaiah too. He was doing some sales stuff. He came and interrupted the interview, and he was like, "When you're done with whatever the fuck this is,"
Yeah.
And then she was like, "That's Isaiah," and then she sent me an email and was like, "Welcome to WAAF," and I was like, "Holy shit!" And it was as a board op, and I thought that's all I was ever going to be. And
Board
then-
up for.
For everything. There's times where.
Oh, I was a board up. That's how I started.
Right.
Yeah.
I would board up everything.
like just babysitting the
Yep,
board.
yeah. Well, that and also like there was an on-site or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah. Running a remote,
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you started the same thing I did.
Yeah.
And then you went directly to the afternoon show?
No.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
Did you do solo shifts?
No, I almost did.
Never did a solo shift. No.
I was going to start
Yeah.
March
I only did it
know.
for
that
9
really
years.
sucks, man.
Yeah. But no, from there, that was 2013, and then 2014, I got asked to go on the morning show, and like answer phones and stuff, and I always had like comedy in the back of my head,
Yep.
and I was always like, get your name out there, fucking
Absolutely.
write shit, and I would write a thing called Massable Theater and record it, and that's all I'll say, and and I nobody, the listeners didn't know that I was doing it, but I didn't give a fuck because I was still like, should I even be doing this stuff? Like, should I be doing comedy? I don't know. Like, am I just like lying to myself?
Let me stop you right there. I'll tell you something right now. I've had a few comedians on the show. I've had Corey Rodriguez, who's a local really good comic. He's been on AAF. Mark Norman's been on the show. Comedy to me, I love writing comedy. I wrote bits tonight fucking for you guys. But to get on a stage and have the balls to fucking empty all your thoughts over a fucking 9, 10, 15-minute spread is ballsy. Like, for me, I'm not a big, like, I remember 15 minutes of content. Or maybe I am,
I'm not
I
like
think
that
it's-
either, but I
but-
fucking do it for some reason.
But have the balls to do that?
Sickness.
Absolutely amazing. Could you do that, honestly, Mike?
No, I could not do that at all.
Like,
You
like
put
we
me-
could write bits.
You put me in a padded room, a studio with a microphone, just me.
Same.
I'm fine.
That's where I'm
Right.
comfortable
That was
right
more
now.
scary to me, though.
Right now.
See, no, to me, that's like, and maybe it's because I was doing it for so long, but I couldn't. It would take a lot of tequila for me to get up there and declare that I'm funny, and you should listen to the next 5 minutes of my stuff because
That used to be show prep for me.
yeah, it's I'd never be able to.
That's
do that.
why
Just
I
you
always-
and a microphone
I
up
bow
against the
to
wall.
that shit because
That's tough.
I
man.
used to drink to like numb me, so I wasn't
Yeah.
so nervous because
Yeah.
my hands would go numb, and
Oh yeah.
then
That's not gonna work.
But
You
then
can't
it got
keep
to the
doing
point
that,
where I was
yeah.
like, I wasn't feeling the crowd, so now I'm like, no, I need to be sober. I need to be nervous and anxious to be able to.
Yeah,
go
you
up
want
and do
that
it.
tension.
Yeah.
You want a certain kind of tension up there, so it motivates you.
Right.
But I still, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough because you got to write it, you got to like nail it, you got to rehearse it, you got to get in front of a mirror, you got to like know.
So,
I don't know what
be
position me to
conscious
do
of
it.
every part, your facial expression,
As
everything.
a
like that.
disc jockey, like you're disconnected from the listener, obviously, unless you hear them on the fucking phone line. So you don't hear the laughs, you don't hear all that shit. But it's still comfortable where you're in control. You can
Right.
say, Rush rules, I'm a big fan.
Right.
Someone call you up and go, Rush suck. Delete. Fuck you. Move on. As a
Usually
DJ,
the Rush Sucks calls, that became a bit. After
well,
a
you
while.
know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
I'd
like,
go,
let's
I'd
talk
go
about-
off
as a
on the guy for
DJ,
a
you
while.
don't have to fucking answer the phone, or you can fucking hang up on him.
Right. But you want to
57th caller.
You want to answer that
No,
phone.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But it's funny, like
But it is that control thing.
it's that control
Yeah.
thing where he's up in front and someone goes, "Fuck you, man." Like, you're
And
in
you go,
Saugus.
hey, I don't come to where you work and slap the sailors' cocks out of your mouth, do I?
But yeah, like in a family gathering or like at a party or something, I'm the most quiet person. I watch and like listen to everybody, and like people are like, "Oh,
Isn't
you're
that
the class
funny?
clown." And
Yeah,
I was like,
go
"No, I was
figure.
in the back
Yeah.
of the room
I can
telling the
picture
class
you being
clown
like
what
that
to do."
too. Kind of.
No, not well. Yeah,
Chill.
I am.
Like,
I'm like,
yeah.
if I'm hanging out at a party or something, I'm not like, hey, check me out.
Yeah.
I'm funny.
But if
No,
you have
not
the
at all.
mic, it
I'm
gives you
very
the
much
power.
like Josh. Yeah.
Hey, look at me! I'm fucking juggling my nuts
you,
over
you
here.
like comedy? Let me run some jokes by you.
Check it out.
Hey, you can use
Yeah.
this in your act. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Exactly right. You should say this on the radio.
I got a throat extender so I can suck bigger dicks.
Yeah, it'll translate very well.
What?
Yeah, but no, I'm the same way. It's like when I'm in a social situation, I guess I'm kind of shy. Like I don't like to talk a lot and stuff. But you put me in a room, with a microphone and
On stage at the Xfinity Center.
or or on like I remember
What
like
was the biggest thing you ever did, like on a stage in front of lots of? I know
there's the
you've done-
donkey act in Amsterdam. It was fucking
Amsterdam?
That donkey's dick was so long.
Not the act that you were a part of that you like.
How big was it?
there was AC/DC at a sold out TD Garden.
No way.
And getting out there, and for some reason that's easy because
Because there's so many people.
right. There's so many people.
Yep.
You know why they're there. They're
Yep.
already revved up. All you got to do is go out and say, "Hey, fucking AC/DC," right? And the whole place just goes sick.
Especially
Yeah,
if
so
they're
you-
not there for you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They're not there for you.
And then you should beat off for like 15 minutes and try to blow a load for the audience. No?
Not
Oh.
at the Garden. That's a family place. If I was at
Oh.
a club,
Not in the
yeah.
2000s.
But
Oh.
if you're like there's been gigs where I've like gotten on stage to bring on a band or do something. And there's 20 people there.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got to like maybe
You're more
maybe
nervous
they're
at
like,
that?
yeah, because it's much more personal.
Right.
Because they're all right there. You can see their faces. You know, somebody yells something, everybody's going to hear it. Somebody yells something with 30,000 people at the Garden, they're like, "You suck!"
Yeah.
You don't really hear
Some
it.
guy in the back
You're
goes,
a mile
"Fuck you,
away."
Shu! You owe
Yeah.
me $40."
You know, it's like it's
Really?
Yeah, for some reason it's weirder and tougher
Well,
when there's a smaller crowd.
I think I agree because, you know, I used to do Bill Cosby when I would have public speaking. Little Denny with my fruit bowl,
You would do him,
6th grade.
or would he? Do
Oh, would you recite the album?
Public speaking. So I'd go, hey, my name is Bill Cosby. And everybody's like, he's crazy. Oh, Bill Cosby. Oh. And now he's a fucking rapist and
Oh.
fucking...
Well, we
who
don't
knew?
have to talk about that anymore. You can always say, "Hey, I did Jimmy Walker," or
Dynamite?
yeah, Dynamite.
Why, he's a rapist too?
No, not at all.
Oh,
No,
jeez.
he's
I
actually
think you're
still
spreading
working.
rumors.
He's an
no,
arsonist.
No. He's
Imagine having,
he's a bank robber.
having like something like there's things that happen on the radio that, especially on the afternoon show for as long as it lived, that there was certain things would be like, oh, of course this again. Imagine being like that follows you through your whole life, where you just hear the same thing over and
Oh,
over.
you mean like
Dino.
do your research, douchebag?
Yeah, that
kind of stuff.
like dynamite to where the point
right.
where
That's
people
like
don't.
you've got a thing. You know, I guess you could say that's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. Or, you know, if you're a comedian, like name a comedian where everyone wants to hear that one bit.
Here's your sign.
You know,
Get her done.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
Right, that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing about you have to have that shell because after that first night that I was fucking told, Gaffigan. After I was told you suck, and I'm like, fuck you, no, I don't. And I did the next one, and then I did the next one. This is my dream, you know.
You got to look at it like this, Denny. First of all, what you want, whether it's positive or negative, you want a reaction. If they took the time to get their phone out and call you and tell you sucked, you inspired them to take action on something.
Oh yeah,
It's better than no reaction at all. Whether they call up and say you suck or like, man, you're the fucking best, you want that reaction. Whether it's a text or a call, they took a moment out of their lives
yeah, to react.
to something
Yep.
you said. So you
This
want
is-
that. It's a connection,
Yeah.
regardless positive or negative. Because if you say something and you think it's great and you get no reaction, that means it's not working.
But you'll like this. So for all those guys that told me you suck and this and that, 2 kids from Worcester named Mickey and Tony
What up, Mickey? Hey, Tony, what's up, kid?
started calling me the first night I got there, and I had them on the podcast recently.
Oh, nice. No shit.
Oh,
really?
wow.
How'd you find them?
No, I've been friends forever.
Oh,
man.
no
We're
shit.
on Facebook.
They were stalkers. He had
Oh,
their
that's
numbers.
right.
He went
It
to
was-
the courthouse.
It was part of the order.
You know those 2 guys? Yeah.
It was. If you listen, it's 2 podcasts ago. So they would literally call me at AF to go, "Fucking dude, play Pantera, fucking." And so I found out later they were tripping on acid, but they loved me. They were nice to me.
it.
To this day, I'm friends with them.
That's awesome, man.
You know, and he wants
Yeah.
to start like his own podcast out there. So it's so funny. I was like, come in, man. You know, we'll do something fun.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just so funny. Like life is so fucking bizarre when it comes to, you know, having the experience of getting on the radio. Don't worry, the dogs. You know,
Oh, is that what that is?
just the dog.
I was like, your fridge is going to explode.
Yeah,
Get that fucking
yeah.
beer
There's
out
a
of
good
there.
chance that could happen.
Well, you know what? I have a similar story. I mean, there's a lot of people, a few people I'm friends with that were like people that were listening. We'd call up, we'd talk, and it's like, well, this guy's all right. He's pretty good. You know, there's a guy from the morning show, Fry Boy, and he would call up, and he was a really funny guy. And then I'd met him at some events and stuff. His name's Don Fry. He's just a great guy. He's a really good guy, and I'm glad that he's like a friend. You know, I'm glad I can call him my friend. There's a couple people like that. There's people that like helped out for the Walk and Rock for Change, like the Martells, like this couple, Chris and Heather Martell, great people. You know, I'm just, my life's better because I know them. You know, so there's those really great connections you make there. I don't want to make it all like the listeners were psycho. They were, but some were actually, you know, pretty cool.
There's a handful of psychos, but
That's
most
exactly
of them are cool.
what I said.
Yeah.
I met those 2 guys. They're so sweet, man.
Yeah, and it's great. You make
just
those
fucking
connections.
salt of the earth.
Yeah.
And there's a few fucking bumps in the road, but whatever.
But it
you know.
also takes a long time, like to what you said, it takes a long time to get to the point where you're like, no, like you're paying attention to me. Like when somebody starts hating on social media or something, like, but you're following me.
Yeah, you're following me. You're constantly harassing me
Yeah.
on social media. You're always calling up and saying you suck.
Like, I don't even
To
know
me,
who you are,
It
but-
took a while, but to me, that was like, wow, this guy's a fan. I got to hold on to him.
Yeah.
One day he's going to get a people meter.
It's just a weird
and
way
it's
of
going to
showing it.
register. He's going to be listening to me for 3 hours saying I suck, and I'm going to be getting ratings.
Exactly.
Well,
You
that's the
know?
big difference between when I left in 08. Facebook was not prevalent. It wasn't everywhere. And then
That is mandatory now. If
For
you're
the-
in
well,
terrestrial, any
yeah.
media, you have to have a social media account. You have to be out there.
This
Oh,
is
of
the
course,
only
yeah.
time
Yeah.
in history where radio people get recognized.
well, when I started
Right, yeah.
when I started the
yeah,
podcast
exactly.
5 years ago, happy 5 years, the WBV podcast.
Happy 5 years.
I started a Facebook account. I started a Twitter account. I started a fucking this account. So every time that I post something, it goes to all the
You gotta do that.
social medias.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I put one on Cox.com. You guys want to subscribe to Denny Dots Cox?
Oh, already subscribed.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yep.
Sorry. Anyway.
Are there pictures of cocks?
So speaking about Cox,
Chickens?
Yeah.
Are you guys a big fan of asses? Guys' asses.
Guys' asses?
Guys?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
I can
gonna tell you.
appreciate 'em.
Gonna tell you a story. So
But
recently,
I don't like guys' asses. Can we tell a different story?
I'm gonna tell you, and you're gonna love it.
Okay, all right. Just
God.
put that ass right in my
I'm
face.
at a establishment. Not gonna say where, because this podcast goes to gazillions of people.
Was it Assabet College?
Oh, I see what you did there.
You like that?
I did. That was quick.
That's pretty tight, like cheeks. I walk into the bathroom to urinate through my penis, and I
This
see
time.
I see the urinals,
Instead
and I
of through
go,
my eye duct. Sorry, no, I'm sorry to interrupt.
I pee out of my bum. Sometimes.
Okay.
I'm he her.
Yeah, it's the Arizona iced tea. It'll come out that way every
I'm
time.
a he her. So I walk up and I see this dude's white hairy ass
Mm-hmm.
pissing. Okay, he's an adult. I'm an adult. I'm
Okay.
in my 40s.
So everything was consensual.
Ass.
Mm-hmm.
My face looking at his ass.
Oh, so he was very tall.
Yeah.
I'm just using the powers of deduction.
So
here,
I
Danny.
walked by. He pulls his ass up and he goes like, "What's up, man?"
That's weird.
He pissed with his ass hanging out.
Oh, he had
pulled
his pants down. What,
Yes.
like a urinal?
Yes.
Like in kindergarten?
I walked
Like down around his
exactly, like a
knees?
fucking third grader. No, it was a bathing suit down by his butt cheeks.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't go to that urinal and piss on that guy's white ass because he pulled his fucking pants down. It's fucked up, man.
But was he okay? Was he like on the
No,
spectrum? or
but
something?
as I walked in, he pulls his pants up and he goes, "What's up, man?"
You like that?
I was like, I don't
the
know."
weirdest part is that he talked to you in the bathroom. I don't like.
yeah,
why
men
are you
shouldn't
talking-
talk to each other in the bathroom.
He's probably like,
The only time you should talk to another guy in the bathroom is if he's wearing a Canadian jersey in front of you. Say, "Fucking hurry up!"
Yeah, just pee on the back of his fucking pants.
Start throwing
Yeah.
shit.
Dick.
But we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's weird. Full-grown man doing that. Maybe it was a bathing suit issue. You know, like he couldn't just flip it out like you can with your pants, so he had to pull those down to get a good shot going.
You're
you know,
being
a good
nice to this
stream.
guy. No.
I know I am. It really,
He
you
just
shouldn't
wanted
do
somebody
that.
to. He got off on that.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
being
gonna go
nice-
with that.
Yeah,
I'm being nice because
because you.
I only
that.
do that when people are in the bathroom.
You guys, first off, thank you for being on WBV 132. I'm going to tell you a story that was told on probably WBV 5
Is
or
this
6.
about more asses, men's asses?
Correctamundo.
Okay.
Little Denny
shit.
Dots, that's me. Coming back from Puerto Rico. Go to Puerto Rico when I was 15. First time on a plane flight.
Okay.
I fly down there. Look at me. Drinking wine. Puerto Rican girls. I think they kissed me.
That sounds awesome. Is that where you get the Mama Juana bottle?
No, that was later in my
Oh,
life.
okay. That's some good shit right there.
Actually, this is my honeymoon. I'm cool, right? We fly back to Boston, and we land. And me and my Puerto Rican friends. Hey, I got to go to the bathroom. You got to go to the bathroom? Good friend of mine, we're together. I walk into Logan Airport bathroom. There's a male Iranian fella. Gonna go Europe or something.
You know he was Iranian for a fact?
I'm gonna go Europe.
Okay.
Persian.
Persian.
Okay.
Cock hanging out.
Right.
Huge dick.
Definitely Persian.
Shit all behind him
Uh-huh.
and as I walked by, all over the toilet. So cock, ass, dick, and he's wiping the shit.
Right.
And I, as a kid, I'm 15. I was cute back then. I'm thinking maybe he's going to try to fuck me. But I go piss, and I leave, and, that's what I saw. So,
How was Puerto Rico?
Do you
though?
feel? Yeah. I mean, it sounded awesome. The chicks and everything, man. I thought
I was traumatized. I'll never forget seeing a dick.
That's
I
it?
I don't want to see a dick, bro.
Did you just have
Have
to
you
tell us-
honestly, have you ever turned a corner and seen a dick? Go ahead and say it right now. When
Yeah.
you were a kid.
Other than a locker room, no.
Remember the troughs at Fenway?
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
a lot of
that,
that. Yeah,
right?
that had a very particular smell. It was like Christmas tree soaked in urine smell.
Right? It
Yeah.
was just a big giant
Why did they have those?
awful. So we'd see
Because
old
so
guys'
you could pee in
dicks.
them.
They never had those in the women's
So you
room,
could-
did they?
No, of course not. 'Cause
No.
those are ladies.
Because they had the technology to not do that.
Look, nobody complained. They went, they pissed, they went back out.
They
The
were
Red
all
Sox
perverts
blew it in
back then.
August.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you did.
They
You
also
hit the
had it at
fucking
Wayland
trough.
Park, and look what happened to that.
That smell remains in my it's burned into my brain. That smell of that trough at Fenway. It really was like a piney wood smell soaked in urine. Obviously soaked in urine.
That's what I
but-
imagine Babe
But
Ruth
it had
would
this
smell like.
weird pine sol thing going. It must have been the disinfectant they used on
probably.
it. Yeah, saw a lot of dick in there. Yeah,
Right?
saw a lot of dick in college.
Dick is scary, dude. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
No, that's all right. Everyone's,
You know, it'd be
everyone's got
great
their own
though
thing.
if I was young, little Denny Dotsie, right? Say I'm like, when do you find out you're gay? Like 10, right?
Well, some people
and
know
I'm
right
in there,
away.
and I go, and my dad pulls me away as I'm staring at all the peckers.
Yeah. What would happen? Well, first of all, you're at Fenway Park. You get slapped. Okay, that's what would happen. You're at Fenway Park in the 80s.
With the dick, you
All
get
right,
slapped.
and you're going to get slapped. Bill Lee's going to slap your fucking face. Actually, Bill Lee would probably say, he'd probably say something like, "Hey, man, it's cool.
Yeah.
You
no,
be
Bill-
who you want to be, man. You
Bill
can
Lee
come
would
up into a
talk at you.
communist, agrarian society, utopian farm in Vermont, and you can work for me, and I don't care what you love. You can love all the dick you want, man. Love all the dick.
I've never worked out a day in my life.
Because
I'm a
love,
physical specimen.
Love is love. All right, man? Sorry. I
I
don't even
figured
know.
I'd put a.
Did that sound like Bill Lee
It
at all?
did.
It did.
It did.
All right,
I
man.
figured I'd
It
put
was
a,
as warm as him, too. He has a story for everything.
He really does.
I was gonna put cardboard down
For the
Fenway?
podcast?
so I could do backspins in the '80s when the
Were you breakdancing? Did you
So
try
I
to
could see
breakdance
dick.
in the 80s?
just so I could see dick.
Oh, naked breakdancing.
Yes.
I mean, like they used to do over there on Christopher Street?
Do you honestly think that anybody's ever naked breakdance?
Yes, absolutely. Someone's had. There are nudist colonies, dude. They do everything naked. Everything.
Everything you can think of is on Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They must have
Honestly,
done it naked.
for 24 hours, your bag smashing against your legs, like doing everything you do. Like say you go on the treadmill or whatever.
Right, yeah.
You want your balls contained.
You go to lunch. You take a golf cart. You go. These are resorts. So you're doing resort things. You're playing horseshoes. You're volleyball. Imagine that, and you're completely naked.
Lot
Things
of
are
sweat.
flapping everywhere.
Snapping.
But we
Flash.
learned that you like that because you don't wear underwear like a Nazi.
Well,
Yeah, that is fucked
I don't
up,
wear
by the
underwear,
way.
but I wear pants.
Oh, God.
Nobody needs to see this.
Wait a
I'm
second.
respectful to the world. What?
You seriously don't wear underwear?
No, I don't wear underwear. I
It
haven't
just
worn
seems so
underwear since
uncomfortable.
college.
Corona.
What happened in college?
What's
that
his
made you
name?
You know what
Stop.
happened in college? You had money for laundry. That's what happened in college.
Then when you bought a washing and drying machine.
Yeah. I was so used to not wearing underwear by then.
Oh, my
So
God. I can't
weird.
even imagine.
That's because,
getting
you know what?
It's commando.
It's easy
Your
access.
nuts don't hurt?
It's easy access
it?
for the girl.
Oh,
Fuck
okay.
out of here.
No,
it
I just
doesn't
don't
hurt.
take
No, it
notes.
doesn't hurt.
Your
No.
hell's bells should be fucking swinging, bro.
They are because I'm not wearing underwear.
My God.
Josh, I'm out with him. I need tight. I have saran wrap. I wrap myself.
That's
No, I don't like that
unhealthy.
either.
You
it's
gotta let
so
him breathe.
huge. I have to.
You got to let him breathe, man.
Like.
I wash my pants.
Oh,
I don't just
How
leave
often?
the bacon strips in there.
How often do you wash your pants? That's a good question.
It depends
for both
how
of you.
it depends how long I wear them.
No.
Like if
stop.
I- no.
Wear them once.
If I wear them, like say I put them on, like say I'm going out and I come home, I take a shower, I put on some fresh pants, and I
Yep.
just wear them going out that night, and I take them off, and I'm only wearing them for like, what, 4 hours or whatever. I'll wear them again the next day.
That's fine.
Yeah. But
I have buddies that'll go 3 or 4, and you can smell that shit.
Right, because they wear underwear, though.
you can smell that shit.
But if you wear underwear, you could probably wear your jeans like 3-4 days in a row. And I used to do that, and that's fine. But I don't really do that anymore.
So do you have like a ball salve or some sort of
My balls
freshener?
are fine, Denny.
Do you have freshener?
They're all
so
callous.
I
all
wash
right, how
my
about
balls.
this? How about this?
What?
All right, check it out. You do what you do. You know, you do disc, golf, whatever in the fucking woods while you crib your friends. You smoke a bunch of weed. 2 days later, I lift your sack up.
Yeah.
It's gonna smell like death.
Well, unless I bathe.
It's not a cleansiness. It just seems so uncomfortable.
It's not.
Like putting lotion on and then putting clothes on.
It's not.
Your
I'm
fucking
not.
hell's bells must hit your thighs. How do your thighs feel? Think about that.
They don't hit my thighs because the jeans keep them in place up there.
Do you have tight nuts or hanging nuts?
I guess they're hanging. Is this really important to discuss? There's a disease killing people
I
in
don't
the
know. I
world.
think
Oh, there is.
The corona balls.
because people won't wear underwear.
All right, you know what we should do? I think we should play a game there, boys. I
Yeah.
think
Stop
this game.
picking on my
I'm
ball
leaving my
sack.
pants on.
All right, here we go. I think I should plug it in. Actually, it'd
You
be
should,
great
yeah.
if I did that. Wouldn't
This
that
is your
make sense?
133rd show? Jesus Christ. Don't you know what you're
132,
fucking
I think
doing
it is.
already?
Hey, AF.
Oh my God, it's so
Oh my
fucking
God, we're all
loud.
dying.
Why?
We're all dying.
jeez.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, let's try it again.
Kind of sounds like AF, huh?
It does. It sounds like our show. That's too loud. I can't hear you.
It's funny you say
Talking
that.
to the mic.
When I was driving in, I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually getting static. I can't fucking hear it right now. Oh my God. Yeah. All right, not this. What the fuck? Come on.
Yeah, this sounds like our show, definitely.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, it does.
All right, here we go. WBV game number 2.
Family Feud.
We've got
Yeah, but the Richard Dawson one.
game
Oh,
number
yeah.
2 with
That
Mike
guy had
Shue
fucking
and Josh
STDs.
Dolan.
Yeah.
The dead DJs at WAAF.
We're not
They're
dead.
actually
the
dead.
station's just off the air.
So we're in March, right, fellas?
Yeah,
right?
I hope
We're in
so.
March. So
Yeah.
this is a game called the
been a long
WBV Coronavirus March Madness Death Toll Game. Keep score at home, kids. Here we go. So there's going to be a
God.
bracket.
Call in.
Oh, boy.
Here we go, a bracket. Flu pandemic, 1968.
That's the year I was born.
That was a good year.
That was a good year.
Oh,
lot-
Vietnam.
A lot of people fucking.
Martin Luther
Lot.
King getting
Hey,
shot.
without Vietnam, we wouldn't have Forrest Gump and Platoon.
This is
That's
true,
right.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good point, man.
That was a good war for funny movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Platoon was hilarious, Josh. You're absolutely right. Never laughed so hard in my life.
Loving that. That fella kills himself.
Yeah, that's
such a
friggin'
great scene.
hilarious.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, look,
right.
look, he shot him because he didn't want to tell him about the massacre.
Is that the movie they were laughing
That's
at in
classic.
Naked Gun?
Yes,
When
yes, when they came out.
I didn't even mean that.
Oh, my God. All right.
Flu
Top 5
pandemic.
comedies. Oh, sorry.
We're doing March Madness here, fellas.
Okay,
Death
all right,
Toll
sorry.
March Madness.
Okay, Death Toll
You
March
guys are going to
Madness.
die soon, so this could be the last words.
Okay.
we're gonna
March
say on
Madness
the
is
fucking
already dead.
pod.
Okay. All right.
Here we go. Flu pandemic 1968 versus sixth cholera pandemic 1910 to 1913. Which one you got?
So the flu pandemic is 1968.
68 versus the one in 1910 to 11.
Well, what was the one? Cholera, 1910?
Cholera. Yep.
I would say the flu pandemic of 1968 because that spreads quicker than cholera.
Now no, that's not World War One, because I know the World War One.
1910, no. Yeah.
No. Okay, so yeah, the '60s one.
I believe that's when we invaded Guatemala.
That is Correctamundo. I like to say Correctamundo because it's really hip.
The answer is Guatemala.
No, I'm not going to tell you what the other one has because so the one that lost had 800,000 deaths. That was the sixth cholera pandemic. So the other one has higher.
So the flu.
So I can't tell you what
Right.
they have.
But the flu won that one.
Correct.
Yeah,
You guys
see,
are both correct.
motherfuckers?
Here we
I'm in my
go.
fucking flu, yo.
WBV 132. Here we go. Everybody's favorite HIV. And
jeez.
Yeah, the party one.
2005 to 2012.
Philadelphia, there's another comedy I loved.
It's
That's
so
right up
good.
there with Billy Madison.
Dumb and Dumber too.
Yeah.
Same idea. Versus the Spanish flu pandemic of 2018. Who do we got? AIDS, HIV from 05 to 12 and the Spanish flu epidemic.
Now, I want to say HIV because it definitely sold more tickets, but I don't.
I'm going with HIV. Over that length of time, absolutely.
Yeah, and the other one is what Bill Cosby used, right?
Spanish flu
No,
pandemic.
he didn't use that.
He used
Spanish
rape.
fly.
What do you got?
I'm going with AIDS.
You're both
It's,
wrong.
it's different. It's not AIDS. It's HIV.
Unfortunately, you have lost. AIDS only had
full-blown.
36 million deaths. This one had a higher amount, so you'll find out in the
They
next
didn't
round.
get magic though.
All right, here we go.
Sorry,
What does that mean?
we were born the same. He got AIDS. He's still alive.
He's got HIV.
Oh, what? It's the same thing,
No,
right?
it's not. HIV is like the coronavirus. The coronavirus leads to getting COVID-19.
Oh, I thought HIV was like the
Josh, your mom's on the
stage
phone.
name for AIDS.
She's telling me to
It's
shut
like,
the fuck
What is
up.
It was their radio name.
All right, flu
AIDS.
pandemic of something and Antoine plague.
Well, we're gonna need this something.
Antoine
not fair.
plague. I have to get fucking
Antoine-amy?
glasses, dude. Oh no! If I showed you guys would
can't
fucking see this. Hold on.
Antoine-amy?
No, hold on.
Was it Anton? Okay, the bubonic plague or Anton Walker when he was with the Celtics. Which one killed more people?
Flu
Antoine.
pandemic of 1889. There it is. Okay, good. And whatever, fucking years later. And the Antoine plague. Fucking give me an answer.
Antoine Plague.
I
Now-
say the flu again.
Now, is this Antoine Plague when he fought Tyson?
Got his ass kicked.
Antoine plague wins.
Oh, okay.
Again. And here's the champ of all fucking time. The most deaths. Plague of Augustinia or the Black Death?
Ooh, Black Death. That's got notoriety.
I gotta.
mean,
yeah, that one
it's got
sold
name
more
recognition.
tickets. Yeah,
But-
it's a headliner.
What year was the other one? Does it say?
5.
Yeah, talking to the mic. That's how
That would make sense.
podcasts work, Denny.
540. 540 AD.
Oh my God! Really?
Now, I don't think there was
Pretty
many people
sick
then.
death toll, dude.
Really? Huh.
Well,
that's
we
a
all know
tough-
that Black Death is the fucking...
Is
like
Black
Hulk
Death
Hogan.
the one?
It's kind of a
Hulk Hogan. He's like the Hulk Hogan,
Right.
pretty much.
I think I'll go with Black
But-
Death, but the other one intrigues me.
All right, Black Death. Check it out. Death toll for this one. The plague of Austinian 540. 25 million deaths.
Holy Jesus!
They had that many
fucking
people back then.
Christ, that was everybody.
Picture it.
Yeah.
Some
traffic.
kids sit in the woods going, where the fuck is everybody?
We're it.
Fuck.
You know, it'd be great if we could interview them and ask them if they shit their pants
Right.
prior to death.
Is that one of the symptoms?
Well, I was going to go back in time to do that. It was just a thought.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure about people who poop their pants. Next week on Nova.
Hey, man, I'm from 2020, and there's a pandemic, and you're dead from the bubonic plague. Do you want to talk to me, bro?
Oh, they'd probably be like, "Oh, you have a coronavirus? Oh, and you get the sniffles."
Yeah.
25 fucking million people died because their eyeballs exploded.
Yeah.
You got nothing. They're like the Zdeno Chara of
Oh,
virus.
yeah.
You know, they're like, "Oh, your little germ shut down the NHL."
You know what I did?
Oh, I broke my jaw fighting the entire St. Louis Blues organization.
And I liked it.
It was in pieces, and I still scored a fucking goal, and you're letting a germ shut down the league?
I've never had food.
Weak pigs. Zdeno Chara, first of all, does not talk like
No,
that.
no,
he's not
he's-
a Bond villain.
no.
He's a
Oh, he's
super
not?
nice. We just say
Super
that
nice guy.
because the guy broke his jaw and he still played. And every time Tom Brady's got some tightness in his calf.
Oh, yeah.
And we always say Zdeno Chara's like, "Was your calf tight, little man, little pretty man?"
Dustin Pedroia is out a year with a twitching pinky.
He's jammed his pinky. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your little finger hurts. I played in the Stanley Cup with my jaw in pieces, you pussy.
You ever been in a car that goes 60 miles an hour? Do that to your face.
That's right. Sorry, did he?
Yeah.
Did you,
Zdeno
ever,
Chara would be laughing at all these plagues.
did you ever have AIDS and cut your belly open and sprinkle it on the lawn?
Yes. I made them drink my urine.
I want
I
to.
pull my pants below my knees when I stand at the urinal so someone says something.
And it's still over Marshawn's head.
Denny always changes his stories. the true story is that man that was outside of the stall shit blood, rained blood,
Jesus
AIDS
Christ.
blood into his face, and there's a lot of open sores.
Oh my God.
And then Denny gave it to his friends on a podcast.
Jesus Christ.
One night. It's amazing. All right, so let's go. Here we go.
this is a scary place.
March
It is,
Madness,
yeah.
the flu pandemic in 1968 versus the Spanish flu of 1918. This is what's it called? Top four, round four. You could tell you know sports, right?
Jesus.
Top four, round four. Where's my pink hat?
I say Spanish flu.
Okay, so Spanish flu
They get stuff done.
versus the flu pandemic of 68. What do you got?
Spanish flu.
Yeah, Spanish
flu.
flu.
Because they covered a lot of ground.
All right, Correctamundo. They'll go to the final two. 1 million deaths.
Holy shit.
Flu pandemic. Here we go. Antoine Plague. Antoine Mario.
Middleweight.
165 versus the Black Death.
Black Death.
Black Death.
Yeah.
All right. Only 5 million died. Just 5 million. In
For the Black Death?
165 AD. No,
Oh.
Black Death's moving on.
Oh,
It's
okay.
moving on.
Black Death's like Gravedigger at Monster Trucks. It's going to win every
Horrifying.
time.
Here we go. This is it. Final two, man.
Fixed.
Spanish flu pandemic versus the Black Death. 1364 versus 1918. Who you got for the winner?
Let's see. They're both great metal band names.
Yeah.
We're going
How
Spanish.
come there's no fucking
No, Black Death. Plague. I mean,
Yeah, I say Black Plague.
Black Death?
Yeah, babies.
Winner, 200 million deaths.
Oh,
with
Wow. That's the one that killed
200
Mozart, right?
million. And Spanish flu wasn't too far behind with 50 million.
Holy fuck.
So
Jeez.
we're okay,
So
people.
they were kind of like the.
If you're listening to this podcast right
I bet
now,
they could still buy toilet paper, though.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they even had when it was 152 AD? Okay,
Right.
so imagine your calendar says, and there's just a bunch of fucking X's and people looking at each other, and you're
Right.
like, hey, what are you doing today? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna go fucking try to kill something and eat it. Okay, man, what are you doing? And they go, oh, fucking everybody died. What? Everybody in the village died.
Everybody died, so I guess we could take their fucking Adobe hut. You know, Frank's Adobe hut's got a pool, and he's dead. The whole family's dead. I'm going to take his Adobe
I mean,
hut.
think about it. It was so primitive back then.
Yeah.
Well, they probably weren't that scared because they were still talking to the moon and stuff. So
I bet they
pretty-
were
well,
wicked scared.
People still do that today, man.
You know, there was one motherfucker who took advantage of that and said, everybody's dying because you didn't give me your fucking corn.
and that's how religion started.
Right, exactly. So you give me your corn, and
Well,
this
that's
will
true.
stop. So by the time you got everybody's corn, it kind of faded away, and they're like, "Oh, and it's nobody else is dying anymore." So you know, there's that one fucking Jerry Falwell motherfucker in 125 AD who took advantage of the situation. And I seriously got to give him credit for the foresight.
So my grandmother was,
Hustler.
Yeah,
God rest her soul, she passed recently. Big fan of religion. And religion to me is, you know, grew up as a Catholic. I went to church all the time. But I always said to my grandmother, what about everybody that lived and died before us that, you know, didn't believe in Jesus because he wasn't around? I don't know. But I always go,
yeah. All
isn't
those
the
old,
con-
all
isn't
those
the
Old
con-
Testament people, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
But Zoroastrianism, all these different religions,
Right, yeah.
were they wrong? And she could never answer me. So I think we all know. I mean, it's cool to have faith. Don't get me wrong. When you're on a deathbed, it'd be like, oh God, please, you know.
Well, like I believe in a higher power, but like when I question things about the Bible, my mom's like, "Oh, well, you're an atheist." I'm like, "That's not what I'm saying."
No.
I'm just saying the Bible should say based off true events. Like the boat sank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
but
Jack and Rose weren't on the front of the boat.
It's not about the true events, if they're true or not. It's about the lessons learned.
But some people are like my mom saying like, "No, that actually happened." I'm like, "No, that's
Okay.
not the."
Oh yeah, there's
the
a
whole-
word for those people who take the Bible literally.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Too religious.
But I mean, I think you guys are on the same page I am, where it's like, okay, I'm here. I'm happy I'm alive. The fact that I get to fucking do this shit with you guys and, you know, I'm here. But when I fucking close my eyes and I'm dead, I'm fucking dead, man.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
no
unfortunately, I feel the same way.
Everybody
I'm
else.
not being reincarnated, and
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You know.
Let's be serious. So, in other words, enjoy while you're here.
Mm-hmm.
There's this coronavirus bullshit going on right now, but it's like, you know, stick to your family, man. Stick to your friends, family, and fucking enjoy it. Not that I'm a Wednesday after school special or anything right now.
No, but you know what? With
But
the
it's
coronavirus, you know what? Help people out. Help out your neighbors. I'm not just saying loan them toilet paper because they didn't stock up, but
Because you bought it all.
they're scared about something, you're scared about something. Try to just be the person that don't worry things like you just said there, Denny. That was great. Just be that person that look. We're gonna make it through this. We're all here together.
Yep.
I hate thinking like this. Like I think I said it to you like just jokingly when we were on the afternoon show. But I always have this thought like right after 9/11, everybody was on the same page.
Right.
During World War II, everyone was on
Absolutely.
and like when people are just like at their throats on social media, sometimes in my head I'm just like, we need another world war.
Well,
but like, and then something like this where it like brings everyone together. I'm like, this really sucks. But I'm like, it kind of like.
Right.
Like we're not arguing about
Right.
like is it do I say he or she right now?
Well, that's
It's-
there's two things Americans do the best. And one, it's in times like these or after 9/11 or when someone's in trouble, Americans come together and they can do it quickly and they put their differences aside and they have a mission and they help whoever needs that help.
Yeah.
And they get it done. The other thing Americans do the best is they bitch. Americans bitch and bitch and bitch, and they bitch at each other. But see, we can do that because we're Americans.
We'll
We
bitch
can-
to each other.
We can bitch at each other. We can bitch to the people in charge because a lot of the people that came to this country to make it what it is today couldn't do that in their old country, right? They couldn't bitch because they'd get
You
shot
get thrown in fucking
or
jail,
they'd get
you'd-
thrown out of their town or
why
their
they're
village
here.
or whatever, right? So they
Yep.
came here because they could say and do what they wanted. So you can't have it nice all the time.
No.
You're gonna when there's no crisis and there's nothing pulling us together, then we're at each other's throats.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like being in a house, a family's fighting, and
Right,
someone from the
exactly.
outside is like, "Hey, you guys are being too loud," and everyone goes, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah,
And then-
or it's like you're such a like me and Denny are brothers. I'm like, you're such a fucking dickhead, Denny. You suck. And then some kid down the street says, "Yeah, Denny does suck." And I was like, "Shut the fuck up, asshole. He's my brother."
Exactly.
Only
That's
I
the
can say he
best-
fucking
like that's the
sucks.
best feeling
Yeah.
because nothing like having friends from high school where you could literally sit there or college. I remember sitting there just fucking razzing each other. Fuck
Right.
you piece of shit. Blah,
Yeah,
blah.
you suck.
Whatever. I used to get called Danny DeVito because I'm a midget. Fucking, you
Oh,
name
hard
it.
M.
Got a lot of midgets. Got a lot of midget stuff. But it's funny.
But midgets equal funny.
But then Ozone named me Tom Cruise.
That's
and
right.
It was pussy for
Ran.
days.
Jeez, maybe I
You
should have
ever-
used that as my
you ever-
radio name.
You ever dived into the Pacific Ocean and it's all clits? Well, I did. Actually, I didn't. I'm just.
That sounds like a mushroom experience.
I wanted you
right
guys-
there.
Clits.
Like you
That's
jumped
so
into some
specific.
kiddie pool and you thought it was all clitorises.
I want to impress
Jesus
you guys.
Christ.
In my head, I was like,
You're not impressing us. You're scaring the fuck out of us,
Yeah.
Denny.
What
Jesus
if you
Christ.
shot? What if you were at a carnival, Denny
Right.
Dotsy carnival,
Okay.
and you had a BB gun and it was all clits? And bing, 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 and each
Wait,
one you
it
hit,
shot clits?
You,
You shoot at clits.
correct.
Okay.
Well, first of all,
I'm
those
with you.
games are all fixed. What's the prize?
No, you can eat them. You can shoot and eat. It's amazing.
So why would I shoot?
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Well, it's
You're
a
scaring
carnival.
me,
Nothing
Danny.
makes sense.
Well, it sounds like you'd go to.
Is there going to be
jail.
Carney watching? Because that'll make me uncomfortable.
You guys big fans of carnival?
You guys like eating clit? You like eating clit? Come on. How about for the
Come on.
ladies? A lady like clit? Come on. How about for the kids? Clit for the kids. Clit for kids.
I
Clit
used
for
to
kids.
love carnivals.
Come on. Step right up.
Until I became an adult and I realized other adults are just larger people. Like kids never grow up. Like I thought all adults when I
Oh,
was
yeah,
a kid
you never
were
leave high
like,
school.
oh, everyone's a grown up. But then like, oh
No.
my God, there's so many idiots that just never grew up.
dude.
Yeah, we worked at a place like that. Radio's like that. Radio's just high school
Blew
extended.
my mind.
1985. I'm 10 years old. Little tiny Denny. I was probably the same height.
I was going to say, aren't you little tiny Denny now?
Little tiny Denny, right?
You couldn't even see
I'll
him. back
never
then.
forget looking at
He was the size of a Hummel.
dude, 18-year-olds to me were 1,000.
Right.
I was
yeah.
10.
Oh, yeah.
Seniors seem so
Dude,
old.
their
right?
hair, I'll
yeah.
never forget. Fucking
They had
combing-
whiskers, you
hold
know,
on, hold
they
on,
had
ready?
fucking
Check it out. Like
mustaches.
fucking wicked tight
Yeah,
T-shirts.
man.
We had projects where I lived in Woburn. So all the kids from projects would come down. They'd be fucking combing their hair and shit, and they'd have wicked tight shirts. And I go, that motherfucker's 18. They go,
Yeah,
wow.
he's a man.
It's a man.
He's
but
a
even
dude.
like freshman year of high school, like the seniors were
They
adults.
worked.
The girls were women. And what's crazy is when I was a freshman, my wife was a senior. Different schools, like we didn't know each other, but I was like, can you imagine? You would not have dated me back then.
I don't
Like
know.
that's
I
me
agree.
as a freshman, she wouldn't have.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
She was a dime piece, and I was
I went younger.
me.
My wife was my brother's age because they would use my downstairs apartment.
Apartment. Okay.
Excuse myself. In my parents' house. My downstairs apartment in my parents' house.
It's called the basement.
That's a basement.
Yeah.
That's correct. I came home from Westfield, and my wife was hanging out partying, and she kept staring at me. If she was here, she would say it's different. However,
You
she
have the
stared at me,
microphone.
and now we're
You have
still
power.
we're still together to this day. So
I met my wife in college too.
really?
Yeah,
North
we've been
Adams?
together for 26 years now.
They're awesome.
I
Yeah,
met
it
my
is
wife
awesome.
on the way to a college.
Well,
I was doing a college gig.
Was she hitchhiking?
No.
Oh.
She was dating the other comedian that was doing the show, and I was driving with him.
Oh, Don Gavin.
Yeah,
He's a legend.
I mean,
It sounds familiar.
He's the best. Yeah, he's one of the legendary
Yeah, I thought it
of
was.
Boston comics.
he's 75.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly don't know. I don't. Wait, she was dating him?
Yeah.
75-year-old prick? Oh, am I getting dirty? Oh, I'm sorry.
No. He was much quicker than me, though.
Oh man.
But she was dating him, and I was so annoyed the whole time. He was like, "Yeah, we got to stop at in Manchester, New Hampshire to pick her up," and I was like, "Fuck," and I thought he was gay, but so I was just like, "All right, fine, whoever this chick is," and then I met her dad and her dog first, and then she turned the corner. I was like, "What the fuck? How did you get a girl?" Like in my head, I didn't say that out loud, and then when she got in the car, she was like, "My dad just said, maybe you'll meet your future husband at the show tonight." And he was like, "Why does your dad hate me?" And in my head, I was like, maybe that's me. I was like, "Shut the fuck up, dude."
Are you fucking serious?
Now we're married.
Yeah.
This sounds like a fucking poem or something. What are you fucking
Nah, it's
James
a
Taylor
Nah,
or
it's a
something?
Paul Rudd movie.
I know, right? Seriously.
No, it was real.
Wow, that's fucking awesome, man. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, how'd you meet your wife?
I was in a band at North Adams State College.
What'd you play?
I played with myself. I was a singer. No, wait, that's
He's
wrong.
like from the Bosstones. He beat off. on
That's
the
wrong.
stage, so.
I yelled into a microphone very loudly.
And then played the recorder.
No recorder involved. I
Wait,
played
so you did backup
I played
vocals?
the bong. No, I was like front guy.
Oh, you sang?
Yeah, no, I didn't sing. I yelled into a microphone very loudly. I would
It's
not
the
call
same
that
thing.
singing.
It's like talking to my kid.
No, it's
Do you have to go to the bathroom or not?
It's
What do you-
slam poetry.
yeah, that's right. It was karaoke. No, so I was in this band. We were playing this party, and it was packed. It was a great night, and there's all these girls up front. Some of them I knew, and everyone's drinking and smoking weed and having a good time. And I just, I'd grab a girl and sing, and then I'd kiss her or whatever. And I grabbed her and I kissed her. I didn't really know her, but it was just something I was doing because that's what you do. I guess when you're singing for a band.
How old were you?
I was 20, and
A young shoe.
yeah, very young shoe with lots of hair, a lot more hair than I have now. And then we were done, and I went to the bathroom, and I heard a knock on the door, and I opened the door, and there's my future wife. She's standing there looking at me with this look in her eyes like I'm a fucking ham and she's a fucking stray dog, and she just jumped on me. And so, yeah, in the
And
bathroom.
she said, "I just broke up with Don Gavin."
She said, "Are you a fan of Don Gavin? Don Gavin has herpes. He does not have herpes." Yeah, that's how I met my wife, and then
That's
we
so
went
cool,
home,
man.
and then so it was kind of weird like that for a while. Like we were just sleeping with each other, and then I said, "I think I want to take her out on a date," and I took her to a Chinese restaurant in town that was actually very good, but I left my wallet at home. And so I said, "Hey, do you mind staying here? I have to go home and get my wallet because I couldn't leave my keys because I needed my car to go get my wallet,
Yeah,
right?"
yeah.
So she's like, "I guess," and I'm like driving, and then I'm hurrying back on. God, she's in like a human trafficking ring out of this Chinese restaurant in North Adams. I get in there, and it's like she's the last person in there because they were closing, and it's like the whole wait staff is going, "He's not coming back for you," So I go in there, I'm sorry, and she still liked me after that. So
That's
Picturing
good.
the
Yeah,
scene in
yeah,
the Christmas Story where they're all singing to the family, nobody else is in there.
it wasn't that fun.
No.
No.
Okay. You know what? We talked about this on the radio on the very last show we ever did. We just didn't know it.
Was that what we talked about? Oh, our first dates on the last show.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
No
that was it.
shit. Oh man.
I was thinking
we
about
just
that the other
jinxed your
day.
fucking. This is your
Yeah,
last
sorry,
podcast,
man.
Danny.
Oh. By the way, my computer has AIDS, so
Oh.
it has. Yeah, it's gonna have a
it's
few days.
HIV.
All right,
Yeah,
it has
it's
HIV,
HIV,
so it's going to
okay.
die soon. So it could be
Shout out
less.
Magic.
But by the way, I want to say thank you to Mike Shue and Mistress Carey for allowing us to give our 5 seconds to, you know. And I'm going to get serious right now because
Oh, we haven't been serious.
my uncle,
Serious
who's
about John
passed
Gavin.
away because drank too much, partied too much. Love you, Uncle John. He was the guy in the 80s that say, listen to the Cars, listen to Jay Giles, listen to Aerosmith. These are local bands. Radio's great. Listen to BC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So to get there and fucking kind of be cool and, you know.
No, God.
Okay, good. We're still going. Sorry.
We
and-
thought his computer had Ebola.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well, it could have, actually.
It has the Spanish fly
Oh,
plague.
God.
It's got a boner.
Let me suck it. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I did it.
Yeah.
And I had fun for
Danny,
so
I'm
many
the,
years.
I'm the same way.
Isn't it like
I grew
pinch?
up listening to AAF.
Yeah,
and
and that's
all
why
of a
I
sudden
feel bad
worked
for
there.
you because it's like your shit was right there, man. And
I was
this
just about to
fucking thing,
dive in head first.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
wanted
saying.
the 20 years of stories, but
Nothing
they'll
better
happen
than
on the podcast.
cracking a mic and talking about what you love. He loves Rush. I love Rush. Van Halen to me was one of those bands that were mind blowing,
Especially with
And
Gary
then-
Sharon.
Okay, you didn't have to ruin it like that, Josh.
he's being
Josh
fresh.
always ruins things
sorry.
like that. I'm
I'm
sorry.
Three sides to every story.
He's the
It's
9/11
fucking
guy.
great.
I love Uncle
Wait a
Jay.
second, conspiracy. Wanna
No.
go
No, it's like he'll 9/11 a room.
Yeah.
You know what that
Everyone's
means.
having a good time, and you're like, hey, remember 9/11? And everyone,
crash
oh.
into a
Debbie
building.
Downer.
Yeah.
You know, he's just.
you
Sorry,
have-
Denny.
I
Don't
don't
even
do it
listen
on
to him.
purpose.
Yeah, he
Yes.
does.
Do you have AIDS?
HIV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
he's all right.
I was gonna.
I'm
prick,
roomies with magic.
I was gonna prick your
I'll
finger
stop
and
bringing
suck on it.
Jesus Christ, Denny.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
My
You're
dog
talking
does
about
that.
growing up listening to AF and then working there.
Right, dude. To crack the mic, and you did it for so long. Here's a question, because I always felt sort of pressure to write bits, do what I could do. Like, did you like? That was your job for how many years, man? Like.
20
what
years
was
there.
Here's a question, because I would always write ideas down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was your process when it came to, radio and interviews and that stuff? How'd you approach it?
It was the same way, Denny. Like if I had an idea, I'd try to write it down somewhere and bring it in with me, and then just it depended if I was on the morning show or doing middays or at night.
Well, that's a big difference, right? Because
Yeah,
morning
it's a
show would
huge
be
difference.
like.
Yeah.
So, would you toss off ideas to Kevin or?
Yeah, Greg or Kevin. Kevin and I didn't have a lot of great ideas. Kevin had millions of great ideas.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
He's a machine.
And Greg too. That's something that really impressed me. Was Greg had lots of ideas, and then he could write it down on a scrap of paper, give it to Kevin, and then they would just be like the Mantown series, or any of those parody songs and stuff like that. They could just make them happen like in 15 minutes. That's how talented they are.
Well,
And,
that's we were talking about is confidence, is talent.
yeah,
Being able to sort of be the runner of the ship.
right.
I mean, do you feel like you could have ran a morning show? Or I always felt comfortable by myself. I never felt
Yeah.
comfortable. Don't get me wrong. If Mike Shue went, hey, Denny Dotsie, we need you. Josh Dolan's not doing that well.
That's what he sounds like. Off the mic.
I
would do that.
Nailed that Mike Shue impression. Seriously, I'm a big Italian man.
But did you? But I'm sorry.
That's all right, man.
Did you feel comfortable as part of a morning show, which is an ensemble, or when you were the midday guy, which I always listened to and I loved? Which did you feel? I always felt uncomfortable in an ensemble. Like I always felt like I was looked down upon, and running the board, and this and that.
It's. I felt actually more comfortable in an ensemble or if someone else was there.
Really?
I think it's not as hard when you have someone to bounce off of, and especially.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, at AAF,
Yeah.
my choice was to help out the morning show, or I was by myself. I was a weekend
Right.
guy. But if I ever got the chance to have my buddy who does the podcast with me, that'd be fucking awesome. But that's not how it worked. It was always solo DJs,
Right.
or the afternoon was.
I think
rock and-
I think
yeah.
being solo is a lot harder because you don't get some kind of reaction that will guide you. Like Josh, I could tell if Josh thought something was funny or if it went better in another direction or something like that. On the morning show, you had Greg and you had Kevin or Danielle more recently in LB, and so you threw that out there, and you could watch it bounce from person to person.
Right.
And then everyone it's like you throw it out, everyone gets a bite of it and then spits it out of a pot and mixes it up.
Some things are funnier when you react to something,
right,
like
exactly.
a reaction, and it's
or you know what the reaction's going to be. So it's like if I say something, I know how Danielle's going to react. Oh my God, pizza
oh
and
wow,
popcorn.
square pizza.
This is
Look
the
at
best
that.
podcast
Thank
I've
you,
ever been.
Katie.
I mean, I'm sorry, Josh, but
Oh,
this
no,
is
My
it's
wife,
fine.
Katie, coming
Katie,
down.
thank you so much. That's awesome. And Sully, what's up, buddy? Thank you. Oh wow.
Yeah. There's
man.
food.
But it's like I know like what would set people off, when I worked with a crew. So I knew I could get a reaction out of, LB by saying something or Danielle or Greg, and that way it could spark something, or if we, but by yourself it's harder because you're not quite sure. Like Josh was saying earlier, you're not sure if it's working. And then you've got people on the text line are calling, and that's good.
Yeah.
You get a reaction, but if it's all negative, then you're like, oh, was it really that bad? Or,
Well, it's funny you say that because, I was obviously the weekend swing guy. I filled in for all positions. In the end, I was very comfortable sort of getting on the mic and going, hey, it's Denny. Here's your band. Creed, I love Creed. It's got a step. I just got a step, baby. Here's the new song. What's it called? What's it on?
You're rubbing your
Torn.
nipples.
and it's
Torn.
radio. So it's definitely just for you.
It's actually a podcast. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's really
He's
listening
talking
right
about being
now.
on the radio.
But it's funny, right? So it was always me going, yeah, fucking AC/DC. Here's the song. I hit play, and then I shut the mic down, and I walk backwards, and I do the Wernerman shit, right? But the best thing that ever happened to me in my life is doing a podcast where I have my buddy from high school, my buddy Tony. I don't make any fucking money on this podcast. But you want to talk about filling that void? This is it.
It's like a drug.
Oh, it's a fucking dude.
It's a sickness.
You know what's so cool is you can see through the Podbean app that we have where people are listening and this and that. But I don't do Patreon. I don't charge anybody. But I'm filling that void. This is me playing guitar. I can't play guitar. This is me. I don't want to run. I don't want to. So I think that's what I'm getting at when it comes to sort of where you are in your life. It's like, okay, do you want to move on to podcasting? Do you want to move on to sales? Do you want to move on to a different sort of, piece?
Well, I'd like to stay in radio because I love radio.
I agree.
But at the same time, I'm open-minded to really that, that I think
Would you
be
DJ a
interesting.
wedding?
It depends how much
I've
I'm
been
getting
asked
paid.
a few times.
I used to
I would
DJ
never.
weddings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to have a whole rig. I used to have a PA,
Oh, no kidding. Oh, so
a
you've
whole
done
setup.
it.
Yeah, I used to do that.
You can fall back on that then.
in college and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what though. I haven't done that in a long time. That's a particular skill I'm not good at, unless you just want me up there and like I can't do the electric slide or do all that stuff.
God.
But people want that stuff at a wedding. So I'm not really good at that. There's this baseball team, the Worcester Bravehearts, and there's a guy. Who's actually the general manager and part owner, but he's this guy, Peterman. He runs up and down the steps. He has a wireless mic. He's keeping the crowd engaged, in between innings. He's running games and stuff like that. That's a particular skill that I don't think is I don't have.
I don't have it either.
It's a strength I don't have.
I agree, yeah.
When you're like a real showman,
Yeah.
you're a real entertainer, and you can like think quickly and you can, entertain people and be a clown one moment and then be interviewing someone the next moment and run,
Well,
so,
I feel like you're just not being yourself. As
I can't be structured like that.
Yeah,
like
that's why
I've
I
been
loved
asked to-
radio, because basically what I could say on AAF when I was on the air was controversial stuff, but no swears, blah blah blah.
But you could be you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's why I never
I've
fake
been asked
name.
by
That's
a few radio stations to like do some weekend on air shifts, like solo DJ shifts. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna sound hacky or like if I could even do it, because like
That's why I love podcasts. That's why I love everything I'm saying and doing right now is exactly who I am as a person. Because believe me, if I go listen to my old, air checks tapes, it's
I just have a hard time faking it.
yeah.
but
and
you
like-
know what? If in radio, like I first worked, I talked about that station I worked at. It was an adult contemporary station. Now that's not the music I'm into, but I wanted to work in this business, and you got to learn how to do that. You got to learn how to sell it. You got to learn, this is what I'm going to do. Well, I'm not a big fan of this music, but what can I do with my personality?
Career.
With my personality to make it
Oh, yeah.
still be me
Yep.
and still say, hey, this is the latest from Michael Bolton.
I'll tell you right now, man, there's something about radio that was so enticing to me as a kid. And you were lucky enough to, be on the radio. But do you think kids have that vibe these days? Like,
No.
In other words,
How
there's a
about
whole
radio?
generation that's coming up right now that could give a fuck less
Yeah.
about FM.
Yeah, not about radio, but everybody wants to be a star, and now they have an outlet to do that because other people are proving to do that. So YouTube,
They want to be a
social
star,
media.
but don't do it. They
Right.
just want to make a viral video and
Yeah,
be
they want to
sad.
be an influencer. They want to
Yeah.
get free stuff. They don't want to. Well, they do want to make a career out of it.
Yeah.
but usually you can't really make a. Very, very few people can make a
But
career. out of
it's a
doing
weird
something
way
like
to
that.
start, where you start acting like the amount of like 20-year-olds that I see that are already like so many people have been
Like your
asking about
age?
my skincare routine,
Right?
Like,
Chew?
you
Like
have-
his age? What's he, 14? Is he 15? He
He's,
graduated.
he's 18. He can vote.
Oh, you can vote? Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Just checking.
illegally
I'm going to
buy.
break your ice later.
My eyes. Oh, ice.
That's the podcast.
That was a dad joke, right?
It was, totally.
Oh my God, we went
get
from
it.
sucking dick to a dad joke.
No, Pekkas. Not
Oh,
dick.
Pekkas, sorry.
Because that's a dad thing to say.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, speaking about Pekkas, Spaz started a new podcast. You see
Oh,
that?
did he really? No.
Yeah. Spazzing out.
Did he just start?
I was just going to say that as a joke. That's what he called it.
It's called Spazzing Out.
What else would you call it?
That's property of
It's him
Entercom.
going, fucking whatever, bro. I'm fucking whatever. No, I love it.
Oh, I gotta check
love
that
you,
out, man.
Anthony. Yeah, it's called Spazzing Out. The kid I trained to do the board. Anyway, sorry there, Josh.
Was I talking?
Hey.
I don't remember.
Honestly, have you ever said this to a friend? Oh, my gosh, Josh.
Why would I say that to someone?
Just made it up.
Man, you guys smoked weed.
I've said that a lot.
I was going to say, I said it to the wrong person.
Yeah, I've said that a lot. At least 50, 60 times a
Oh,
week.
to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
or he's said you're so fucking lucky. Only 8 people are listening.
Yeah, that's right.
How bad do you want to swear on the air, right? Oh, my God.
I know, that's a challenge.
It really is,
It's
man.
a challenge, especially working at WAAF, because you got that attitude. And it's a station where you can that lets you be yourself more than, say, if I was working at Magic.
Yeah.
Or Mix or something
Here's
like that.
fucking James Taylor
It's like,
on
yeah,
Magic.
exactly.
But
You know.
like you're afraid that it's going to slip out, because when I started doing afternoons with you, I had that, like, you would turn the mics on and all of a sudden I'd be looking at that red light and I'd be like, what if I just yelled fuck? Or like
You
I
know
would
what
start
that's like?
I would
That's like
start
looking over a cliff and saying, "What if I jumped?"
or like holding a knife and being like, what if I just shoved this into my stomach? Like, but I would start sweating and I'd be like, oh my god.
So you're overthinking it. You just don't swear. That's all.
Yeah, it's like when I try to
But that's
like
not the feeling I had. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna catch Tourette's right now. I'm gonna acquire Tourette's.
I try to floss my teeth in the morning, but I use a huge dildo and I just shove it.
Is that what you tell your dentist?
I shove it and I shove it. You know, it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same idea.
There's a lot of penis on this podcast.
Pekkas.
Sorry, peckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
If I'd
So
known that, I would have shaved.
Where? You don't
We-
wear underwear. It doesn't
we talked to
matter.
Ozone. The world is ending.
Yep.
We all have coronavirus.
We got pizza.
We have pizza. I think that's it. I think we fucking crushed the show, man.
I think we did too.
I think we
It was
crushed the
great
show.
talking to John Osterlind.
Go figure, man.
I learned a lot about the plague thing, a lot of different plagues I never heard of before.
You know who rules, right? So it's kind of like Duke. Who always wins? You know sports, right? Who always wins the March Madness?
He only knows hockey.
Yeah, only hockey
All
and
right.
also
BU
fuck college
or
sports.
fucking BC? Who always wins?
I have no idea.
Black Plague is whoever wins.
Black Plague is the Duke.
200
March
million
Madness.
dead people, bro.
Yeah.
So what
They're-
we have right now,
they're
not
the-
enough deads.
They're the Italians in World War II. They got more numbers, but nobody talks about it.
Right.
Everyone
It's
talks
so
about
sad.
the Black Plague. There's bands named after the Black Plague.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh, right. What's the big one there?
Black Sabbath.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
true.
little band out of Birmingham.
That makes sense. All right. Thank you for listening to WBV 132. Mike Shue,
Thank you for the pizza.
Josh Dolan,
Thank you for
and
having
the
us.
AIDS monster is here. Love you. Squeeze my butt.